What's up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. This is your boy M3. I gotta turn the alarm off. All right. So tonight, tonight's topic is: Are men too focused on what they don't have compared to other men? Let me go ahead and get some music popping real quick. Now, to like our music producer, DJ Eddie King. So again, he's being feel better soon. And while he's out of commission, the man is still producing beats. Okay, it's like the grind don't stop with him, man. Hold on, 15. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna be calling certain people up if they would like to join because I want to make this very interactive. And so far, this is only me for now. But I also see Mr. A.R. Stratosphere. Well, oops, actually, am I saying it right? Stratosphere. So salutes to you. And you know what? Hold on. I'm slipping, man. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn my soundboard on. There we go. Give the man the air horn. Hold on, what's going on? There we go. So salutes to AR for tuning in. There we go. And now we also have knowledge and relationships. Okay. One of the best mods, okay, in the space, Mr. Vouaghn Bryant. Salutes to you, Vouaghn Bryant. Thank you for tuning in. Now we also have people in the Twitch gang. Texas Sun 25. Yo, man, salutes to you, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. And then we have the lovable Mimsy Limbs. She says, hey, y'all. Salutes to you, Mimsy Limbs. And then Texas Sun 25 says, yes, I have a theory on the topic. Oh, okay. You have a theory on the topic. All right. Well, okay, Texas Sun 25, feel free to share your theory. Or if you would like to come up, I will personally send an invitation out to you. Okay? I will definitely send out to Twitch. But let me know, okay? Now, Vouaghn Bryant, if you're still here, if you would like to join the conversation, AR, if you'd like to join the conversation, let me know, and I'll post the link up. And then it's also good to even have like a woman's perspective as well, too. So, Mimsy, if you'd like to come up, let me know, okay? Okay, you like to come up? All right, cool. Let me go ahead and send a link to you. This is going to be fun. All right, I'm going to send it to the Twitch side. Give me about 1 second. All right, Texas Sun, I just sent the link to you on Twitch. So feel free to come up and then we can have a discussion. I would definitely enjoy this conversation. But anyways, and also, shout outs to Marion in the building. She says, we wish you well and hope you return to action soon, DJ Eddie King, music man. Just here for a second before I get back to grading papers and preparing the next unit exam. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Everybody on the YouTube space, please get the likes up. It would be greatly appreciated. Okay. And now we also have, Mr. Texas Sun in the building. So what's up, Texas Sun? Thank you for tuning in, man.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good, man. I'm actually happy that you came on board.
It's been a while since I've been in here. I really love these talks, man.
Oh, thank you, man. I definitely
tune in.
Definitely appreciate it. I'm glad that you are here too. So most of my topics is usually just off the whim. So, we're just having a conversation. And one of the biggest conversations is that a lot of men get way too focused on other men. I feel like they get focused on the things that they don't have, but they don't really take the time to count their blessings.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And that was like one of the things that my dad taught me like a lot. You know, like even if you're going through like, something that's hard, like, make sure that you count your blessings in. Oh, 1 second. Vouaghn Bryant, that's the wrong cash app. Just to let you know. Unless if you're sending a cash app for Daryl Long. But yeah. But anyways, a lot of times, man, we could be so ungrateful because we're always constantly searching to get things that we want. And I feel like we're at a point where sometimes that we could really be entitled. I know we talk about women are entitled to like a lot of things, but nobody doesn't really dig deep into male entitlement. And so my question is, right, for you, what do you think about, the things that's going on? Like, what do you agree? What do you disagree on? Or what goes on into your mind when you see like a topic like this?
So for me, I can speak personally from this. There's a lot of factors that go into it. A lot of people don't actually realize it. I think focusing on the opinion or just what you don't have, pretty much like what you were saying, is from like me. I was brought up on what to be a man is about. Like I got that from my dad, my uncles, my brothers, so I was expected to hold this high standard of expectations. And then you meet a woman and it's simple stuff like, oh, he's got to make $100K a year, he's got to have a nice car, all this stuff. The entire world just gets into your head as a man, and I'm not saying that's on women or nothing like that. I'm just saying we let it get to us.
Yeah.
We focus too hard on trying to be the best that we don't stop and think, hey, I'm a pretty good dude. We try to please the smallest amount of people without realizing how we affect the masses. I think that's got something to do with it.
Oh, we focus on the smallest amount of people as opposed to affecting the masses. Yep. So, in other words, is it like we kind of focus like on our peers, like our competitors, like the people like close to our proximity, to the point where we're trying to keep up with the Joneses?
Exactly.
I get you.
That just runs you in circles, man, because the people you care about the most, for me, I'll never be able to treat them exactly the way I want to, but I'll never stop trying at the same time. So it turns into a vicious cycle of, I worry about what this person's doing for my friend that I'm not doing. I mean, that's a lot of insecurities, I think, is what it is.
I hear you. Real quick, I gotta give personalized shout outs to QueBee. Thank you for tuning in into the building. Hey. Good to see you. Mr. Bolo TV, good to see you, sir. Definitely had to drop the air horn to you. And then we have the lovely Princess K in the building. So thank you, Princess K, for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. If you are now just joining the stream, welcome. Feel free to hit the like button on your way in. Thank you, Vouaghn Bryant. I definitely appreciate you for doing that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely hear you on that part, and I feel like men has definitely they definitely need to kind of refocus and kind of get back into the center. Like a lot of people, a lot of men, especially even around the space, we're focused on like, okay, what is this guy not doing? Let's see, for the community. Or we're focused on what this man is doing wrong in his own personal life or his family. And so we could tend to get, get judgy without even realizing it. Yeah. And then it's kind of like when someone, let's just say like a rich man, is donating something. And then all the poor people in the chat is like, well, it's about time he gave something to the community. You know what I mean? I applaud him for doing that. But what have you done to give to the community? And people think that you got to have money to give so much, but you could also give your heart. You could also give your time, which is more valuable than the things that you have that's monetarily. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, in that retro sense, right? You know, when we get too focused on, man, all the negative things, we gotta ask ourselves, well, are we being like a kin? You know, kind of like the female version of what they call like the Karens, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
and of course, you know, Kens and Karens can be all, you know, different type of colors. Like it doesn't really matter. If you're like a person that just complains a lot and focus on the wrong things, then you fit in that type of category. No, I mean, sorry, Arshad, I gotta give you a salute as well too. Thank you for tuning in. He says peace and love to the KR family and friends. Thank you for tuning in and to the chat. We definitely appreciate you for doing so. Thank you everybody who's also watching as well too. Um, and you know, if anybody else would like to, you know, have a conversation about this, yo, just type in the chat and look, I'll just send the StreamYard link and you guys guys and ladies can feel free to join in. I would also like to get a lady's perspective on this as much as the man's perspective. And this conversation is meant to be respectful. Everybody have different opinions, so we're not gonna like downplay no one's personal opinions. And also shout outs to B-Eazy Dat Dude. Thank you for tuning in, B-Eazy. Yes, fire 100%, and he got the popcorn ready. So yes, thank you. And also follow the Intellectual SoapBox, one of knowledge and relationships best network manager in the world. So definitely also subscribe to his channel as well. But yeah, man. Anyway, so back to this, right? What now? Let's talk about like solutions, okay? Or let's talk about like hypotheticals first, okay? If a man, right, was more focused on building his purpose, or I guess his brand, and personal growth and development, what will be the positive outcome from that?
Supposedly, it helps you be a stronger person. And I agree with that because you're independent. You don't need other outside voices. You don't need, like some dudes, they feel like they need to have a woman or they need to have nice stuff. But if you have a goal, whatever that goal may be, if you set your mind to it, I believe you will be more confident in yourself, knowing that you accomplished a goal. I think as men, we were meant to have objectives like that. We're supposed to be conquerors, right? All the way from way back in the day, right after the dinosaurs got burned. We're supposed to conquer things. And I just don't feel like men have a whole lot of purpose anymore. They're not trying to find it anyway.
Wow. Oh, that kind of cuts deep a little bit. Okay. Let's dig into it. All right. I do agree as far as the nature of men. Okay, the you know, men's nature is to be conquerors and is supposed to be more of a dominant type of species. Now, here's the thing. Now, being dominant does not mean that you overrule people, or you know, you're in your aggression is trying to step on anyone's toes,
right?
You know, or try to knock someone else off their center. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a lot of men, they get confused of being dominant, and then they switch that off to trying to have a superior type of complex.
Yeah.
And
control issues.
Yeah. And you know, look, you know, when men gets into the mind space where it's like, okay, I want to be controlling over this woman or controlling over the kids, you know, if you have children, you have to ask yourself, where is that insecurity is coming from? why do you have to feel the need to be controlling?
Yeah.
Because to me, there's no way around it. When you're a controlling person, you're automatically, to me in my eyes, are an insecure type of person. There has to be some type of, they probably had some trauma in their past, and so based off their trauma where they probably couldn't really have much control over their lives, now they're in a relationship with someone who, has a little bit of power over them.
Yeah.
In ways that, men could have some power over certain women if women allow it. Is that, let's say, like, if a woman didn't really have a stable job where she could really sustain on herself alone, and let's just say, like, because we always talk about high value men, this, and money making that, right? But let's talk about, okay, the dangers of that when you have so much power because of that, and now you're abusing your power. Okay, so when a man has certain things that he could kind of, it's like you're dangling a carrot over someone.
Yeah.
Okay, like, what's the outcome of that? You know what I mean? Like, because you're pretty much like just saying, like, okay, I have, it's almost masking like you have standards, right? Because I feel like, I mean, we all should have standards of something, as long as it's reasonable and not just overbearing. But I feel like we haven't really learned to have a fine balance in life.
No, I don't.
Right? Yeah. And, it could be like a contributor of factors. One of the biggest factors for most men, if you haven't really grew up around with your biological father, or maybe if your father wasn't like a strong-minded man, then it's like you're gonna carry on certain traits that's going to be, of course, what society will say feminine, and I guess, or emotional traits. And they say a man who's emotional is a very dangerous man. I'm sorry, I'm just talking a whole lot, right? But hopefully, like, you're following what I'm saying, B-Eazy Dat Dude says, how can you conquer with assuming some level of control? And then he says, women on average are more controlling, which is why most men bend the knee to women. An example, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Okay. That part I definitely do agree on, right? Oh wait, and he says, I meant without. Okay. Oh, how can you conquer? How can you conquer without assuming some level of control? Good questions.
Yeah, I have a theory on that. It's just not too popular.
Hey, feel free to express it. So shout out to Intellectual SoapBox. He's eating dinner right now, cooking, cleaning. Let me see. Okay, so what's your theory?
So, how to conquer without control? In my opinion, it don't matter if it's the man or the woman. One is going to be dominant either way.
Okay.
Kind of like he was saying, happy wife, happy life. But if you think about it, way back in the day, it used to be the man went to work, the woman cooked and cleaned, took care of the kids, right?
Right.
So there's always one alpha in a pack. There's always some type of control. You cannot get rid of control completely. Everyone has to kind of have their role for their pack. That's my theory.
Okay. I hear you on that. Let me go ahead and play this sound effects, because that's definitely like deep on that, right? So there you go, man. Mr. Intellectual SoapBox, you missed my shout out earlier, because I shouted you out before you came in there. I was like, yo, shout outs to the best network manager in the world. You know what I mean? Of knowledge and relationships. Definitely the Intellectual SoapBox. And make sure everybody, again, follow his channel, the Intellectual SoapBox. I got you, Brody. You know what I mean? All right. Nah. You good, man. All right. Let's talk about this control thing, right? Now, you do have a good point on that, okay? Because, you know, in order for you to have some type of stability, someone has to take control. But I think what happens is when control is being deemed as something negative, when it's always being deemed as something bad. So, an example, I think a lot of men had kind of like, you kind of said this before, men kind of lost their purpose. I think the reason why a lot of men lost their purpose is because you have society telling them constantly that what you're doing is not good enough, or your masculinity is too toxic and overbearing.
Yeah.
And when you always hear the masses of the media that's really like demonizing masculinity, the young men, they're gonna get confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, is it not okay for me to express my masculinity? Or I have a question, right? For the chat. I want the women to answer this as well too. What is, okay, not toxic masculinity, but opposite. What is healthy masculinity?
Good question.
I'll let in the meantime, I'm gonna let the chat think about that. What is the meaning of healthy masculinity? Vouaghn Bryant says it's just not the wife that should be happy. The husband should be happy as well. So I will say happy spouse, happy house. I like that, Exactly, Mr. Bryant. And then shout outs to Inya Nina. So salutes to you, sis. Thank you for tuning in. And then we also have Brother Clarence in the building. Salutes to Brother Clarence. Okay. She also says, hey, Intellectual SoapBox, B-Eazy Dat Dude. And shout out to Vouaghn Bryant for always making sure that people are knowing what we're talking about. Yes, today's talk is, are men to focus on what they don't have compared to other men? Okay, everybody. So I gave you guys some time or whatever. What's your thoughts on positive masculinity? Now, Texas Sun, what's your thoughts on that? What does positive masculinity mean to you?
I think, like what you were saying, the whole media kind of attacking men in general with toxic masculinity, I think that has spread way further than it was actually meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think positive masculinity is, you're a man. You know what you would do for your family. That's been in our blood since the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what your job is, but at the same time, if you have a wife, whoever it may be, it's a partnership. So you know that you are supposed to be kind of the rock of the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can also lean on your spouse because you know they're there to support you. Toxic masculinity is pretty much you're going to deal with everything yourself, not going to listen to anything anyone else has to say. Positive masculinity is making decisions that you know will have a positive outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Taking advice from women too, because women are very intelligent. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
And just setting a good example for kids, nephews, whatever it is, whatever you might have, and just being a positive role model. Don't be negative. Always look up and look forward. That's how I would describe part of positive masculinity.
Okay. Um, so my thoughts on positive masculinity, and this gonna sound like I'm piggybacking off of you right from earlier, but it's like the caveman era. You know what I mean? Um, it's making sure that you're establishing corrective order in the life around, not just around you, but for your family. So a person who's making sure that he's overseeing, and that's not like, like you're just being someone's supervisor, but it's like you're overseeing and making sure that your household is established, your children is on the right path, your wife is emotionally and physically good, and everyone is like, is satisfied. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't make nobody happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what you can do is make sure that you have a household that is running in a functional type of order. Before I continue, salutes to New Growth. So thank you for tuning in. And he says, word on the streets. He says, empty word on the streets. This the place to be. Thank you so much, man. Definitely, most definitely. And then, um, I'm messing up in your name. I'm sorry. So Nina, right? Says, good question. Healthy masculinity, effortless protection, ability to be vulnerable in safe spaces, allowing your lioness to hunt sometimes, and confidence. That's definitely well said on that one. Because the thing is, like, you have to be confident in what you're doing. And, a confident man is the most attractive man in a woman's eyes. You could have, money, and you could have the looks and status, but ultimately, what you exude out is what's going to attract people. But the thing is, don't get this mixed up. You can't have confidence without, any improvement on your life or any reason. People believe it's confidence within. Like, you wake up in the morning and then, like, you already be like, you know what? I decided I'm going to have confidence today. I'm going to be confident. No, like, you have to work on to being a naturally confident man. And that is, and to even get to that level, you already have to be in your positive masculine frame, your positive masculinity as a whole. So if you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing as a man, you are not going to be confident in approaching not just with women, but anybody in life. Okay? That could go for like applying for a job, or doing other things. You know what I mean? Or talking to even other men. You gotta be a confident man, but you gotta put the work into getting those things in there. Salutes to Lisa Neal. Thank you for tuning in. It says, let's see. Hello, everyone. I heard I should come over, so I did. Thank you for tuning in. And everyone, who are in the chat, please, help get the likes up. Most importantly, can you guys share the videos as well too? Because we definitely need a lot of support. We got like the major YouTubers; they have tons of support of people in the chat sharing the videos, like on social media. All I ask is you guys can do the same thing too and help us out. Okay, Vaughn, let's see. I see your question. He says, "Question is, what are some examples of toxic masculinity? I often hear this term, but seldom." He said, "I often hear this term, but seldom hear the definition." Okay, I'll get you, but he rarely hears the definition of it. All right, I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to that question in just a second. We'll go ahead and get to the people in the chat. Okay. All right. So, examples of toxic masculinity. Okay. So, in my example, whenever let's say like you're checking on your woman's phone constantly, You're stalking at her, at work. You're not allowing her. Here's the thing: to a woman to have male friends, a woman to have female friends, time or spend time like with your adult kids if you're older or whatever. Like to me, that's toxic masculinity. Also, other examples of toxic masculinity are the men that comes around the space and they'll talk about I'm out for this, I'm out for that, and then they'll say like, well, bitches ain't shit or whatever, and f this woman, f that. But then it's like when it comes to having a real adult like conversation, you can't even articulate having a civil conversation. It's always like some type of pent up aggression that you take out because you want to exude your definition of masculinity by being loud and rambunctious. But really, the opposite of that, just be like a real masculine man. Man, you gotta be calm. You gotta like, be able to have a conversation where it's mature enough for other people to understand where you're coming from, but also being willing to also listen and take points of what other people are talking about. But a lot of people don't really do that. They get into their feelings when they don't agree on something, and it kind of sucks because we have toxic guys or whatever. Yeah, if they don't agree with a woman's opinion, then they want to stalk her like on social media. Then they want to harass her and make threats, all kinds of stupid stuff. So it's plenty of ways of being like toxic as a man, especially when you try to be like a macho man. What about you, Texas?
It'll kind of piggyback off of you a little bit. I think, for one, actually, I think the term toxic masculinity, like I said earlier, I think a lot of it's made up. I don't think a lot of the stuff is as toxic as it's made out to be. That's literally just in our nature. We're supposed to be masculine. Now, I will say, to piggyback off of you, I think a lot of the toxic masculinity comes from our own insecurities. Whether we have been hurt before by a woman or our parents or whoever it is, something deep down in us gives us these insecurities, like you were saying, to check phones. Oh, you're not allowed to have this dude as a friend. Like, even if you go out with me, you're not allowed to talk to this guy, stuff like that. And just, I think it has a lot to do with insecurities because people aren't nowhere near as confident as they try to make themselves out to be. And I can give you kind of an example. Like, if you're going to a bar, right? You're with your chick, and I kind of want to ask you and your chat this. You're at the bar with your chick. You're standing right next to her, and the dude comes up to her, starts hitting on her, tries to get her to dance, tries to buy her drink, tries to get her number, whatever it is. Do you handle that situation, or do you wait for the woman to handle that situation?
Well, in my case, I will handle the situation. Now, I'm not going to go and punch a guy in his face and curse him out, but, as a man, right, and this goes back to, the stoic side of masculinity. You want to make sure that in your frame that you nip it in the bud and let the guy know that, hey, like, for example, hey, that's my wife you're hitting on, or that's my, girl that you're hitting on, or she's with me. Because you want to make sure that, hey, you're just telling a guy, look, respect the person that's around me. Now, if the person is not respecting your request, you know what I mean? That means he really have no respect for you. And it's not about you being toxic in your masculinity on what you're about to do next. And this doesn't have nothing to do with the woman. Now it's between you and the guy himself. Because now the guy stepping in your territory. You know what I mean? And is blatantly disrespecting you. And that's where like you're gonna have to hit on things on a different level.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're standing next to your girl and this guy comes up to her, he's already disrespecting you. He sees
Okay.
you with her. He sees you standing there with her. You're buying her drinks. You're holding her by the hips, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
He's already coming up intentionally disrespecting you. To me, that is toxic masculinity, thinking you can just pull any chick that you see at any time.
That's what you're coming. Yeah.
Okay. So
Mhm.
I have a theory that if you let the woman say no, or if they say yes, then I guess you don't have that problem. But if you let the woman say no, to me, that's more of the confidence you were talking about. That's where that kicks in. It's like, she's my ride or die. She ain't going nowhere. She's going to tell this dude off. And if he decides he wants to get handsy or he wants to get mouthy, then I would jump in. That's my opinion on that.
I think, you know what? It could go both ways. And the outcome could be, just the same, or it could be totally different. And I'll say on that part, it really depends. I'll say like this, because half of the people are going to have their opinions. That's a controversial question that you just asked. The reason why that part is controversial, because it depends on the woman. Some women may speak up, but then they're going to look at you like a male, like bitch or whatever, right? Because then their bride will wonder, well, why you don't open your mouth or whatever. Now, like I said, these are the men that's with certain type of women. Now, the other thing is, you may be so confident in who you're with and with the woman's judgment that you just like the fact that, hey, like she has a backbone and she could tell him no. And you could just sit back and chill and be like, with a smile on your face, looking at the guy dead in his eye and be like, hey, that's my woman right there. You already heard what she told you. And if he proceeds to disrespect, then it's like, hey, all gloves off. You really have to step in and check it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now he's getting into your woman's space, which he's also getting to your space as well too. But for me, and just personally for me, I'd rather just go with the confrontation, just to let my wife know that, look, you don't even have to say anything. I got this. Okay? And it don't have to be no argument. It don't have to be like, hey, dude, like, like, back up.
Yeah.
You just give them that warning, just be like, hey, she's with me, and then that's it. I ain't got to say nothing more.
It really does depend on the situation, kind of like what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's different if it's a guy that, like, he notices, but he don't know if y'all are together or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he just comes up and he asks nicely, he's not trying to get in her pants or nothing. He's like, hey, would you like to dance? To me, that's okay, because, I can't say I haven't gone to a bar and accidentally hit on someone that was taken. It's hard to tell when everyone's scattered around getting drinks and stuff.
Right.
But if they come up overly aggressive, I believe, because you can tell the intent in someone's eyes when you look at them.
Yeah.
So I guess that is kind of a play it by ear thing. But yeah, I guess the example of that toxic masculinity is when you know for a fact that they're taken. You're like, I can pull her. I don't give a shit. It's just.
Yeah, like, not everything has to end with a fight, but you could tell by the tonality and the aggression of the approach. You know what I mean? If the guys come at a person that's like subtle and respectful, hell, we might want to be friends or whatever and get in a drink together. You know what I mean? And I could help give him some advice. You know what I mean? Whatever he's looking for. But like I said, if you just come in like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be Mr. Steal Your Chick or whatever, I'm gonna be like Trey Songz and just pull her to the side and take her from you, that's not fucking happening.
No, that's where you get the problem.
Mm-hmm, exactly. But that question was definitely, as Vouaghn Bryant said, he said that was definitely a great example.
Thank you.
I like that question, man. So thank you. Inye says, if it's not clear with my man, I will say I'm actually spoken for I'm actually spoken for, and this is my man. If it's clear he's my man, I submit to how my man wants to handle. Nothing extreme. I get you. Did you accidentally forget to hit the like button? It's okay. You can do it now. So everybody, please get the likes up. I'm gonna go back to your comment, and read this again because yes, definitely. In this case, it's always best to have that communication. I will say. So, like I said, everything varies, but no matter what, a woman's gonna always, a good woman's always gonna follow a man's lead. If he's worth the leadership. So, it could, in other words, yes, you want to make sure that if you have those talks, because if anything pops off, you'll be prepared and you'll be ready to give your delivery. And Anthony, I like how you read that. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, and yeah. Now, what else? Anything else that's coming to your mind right now, Texas? I see you looking up at the skies.
I'm pulling you up live on YouTube right now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, don't Twitch and YouTube.
All right, I appreciate that, man. All right.
I do have one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm full of controversial topics.
Hey, I like that.
Now, what the original topic of the stream is about, do you not think in some way women give us unrealistic expectations? So when we see another guy who either has a six-pack or he's, for lack of a better term to say on Twitch and YouTube, packing heat, if you know what I mean, like all those things matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like you hear from women on social media, you see them going back and forth on TikTok and saying all this stuff. I think a lot of what men worry about come from the mouth of women.
So basically, you feel like the reason why men do the things that they do is because of the validation from women.
Yeah.
Okay, I can answer that. But first, let me give a shout out to Justice Flash. Thank you for tuning in. Okay. Yeah, that goes to a point where men are well, actually, I did say men are focused like on other men, but when a man is not really focused on building himself and you're focused on the validation of women, I mean, think about it like this, right? Everything that we do in life as a man, and maybe this might be a good thing and this might be a bad thing to some, depending on how you take it. And salutes to you, AR. Thank you for tuning in, man. You know what I mean? I'll talk about the good part, okay?
Okay.
Without the validation from a woman or the thirst from a woman, a lot of us will be lazy. What will be the motivation to get up, to go to work, to get the best career, or to get to improve on our looks, our physical well-being, our health?
Right.
A lot of people don't care about trying to be healthy. Like, look, man, they can eat a cheeseburger and be fit. They'll do that. But men do that for women. Okay, I hate to say that. I might get a couple of men that might start throwing rocks at my windows or whatever. But that's the truth. A lot of things that we do, even me myself, we do it for women. The most educated man, you did it for a woman. The most financially successful man, a lot of times you did it for women because you want to get more women. Yeah. Men who self-improve for women are going to do things for women so they could get the most women out of it. But what baffles me is that most men will tell you the same rhetoric, like some of these dating coaches, and they'll tell you, well, you didn't work on do this just for you, for yourself, not for the woman. But your whole channel is based on trying to attract women.
Yeah.
So you have a channel that's for men to score women,
Yeah.
Now, the part where the downfall begins, a lot of these men, they focus too much on a woman's opinion, and sometimes 95.9% of the time, women don't know what the hell they're talking about. A lot of times they want this on Mondays, they want this on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and their minds are all over the place. They want so many things that they can't really handle, and men keep taking it to heart. I don't take women seriously, personally, because they're like night and day. But unfortunately, men who take women seriously, they end up getting themselves in a lot of trouble, and they start to kind of lose focus on themselves.
Yeah.
Because now you're not even focused on being your best self. You're focused on trying to have a performance, the most performance for a woman to get that approval. By the end of the day, you may have gave her a show, but she's going to take all that love and affection over to some guy that she's more infatuated about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of men, is another thing. A lot of men fall in love with the wrong type of woman. Okay? And what happens is you fall in love with the wrong type of woman, and the woman's telling you, I want a man who works at Starbucks. I don't like a man that works at Pete's. Instead of be like, well, fuck you, bitch, or whatever, right? Either you're gonna drink this Starbucks, this Pete's coffee, or deal with it. Otherwise, I'll find another woman who will be better, who will look better than you, but that will like Pete's. You know what I mean? I know I'm giving silly terms, but the thing is, point is that like men will quit their job, lose their focus, lose their personal self to try to conform what a woman wants. So let's say that man, instead of being the man that you're supposed to be and having a backbone, now you're like, look, I gotta go ahead and change my career. So I can't disagree with you. I gotta go ahead and change my career, jump from Pete's to work to Starbucks just so she can like me. Yeah. And then here's the thing, the catcher today. Now, maybe she decides that, I don't like coffee no more. Yeah. I'm going to Jumbo Juice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how most men, they kind of fall themselves into that woman pleasing type of trap. Because, come on, man, you're being taught about the wrong things, and you're not really focused on, well, what can I do to turn this, to make these women the byproduct of my success, as opposed to let me be successful in getting this girl or getting that girl. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're already exuding thirsty type of energy, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think we focus too much on what we want the outcome to be. Mm-hmm. We don't realize the process we're going through and see all the red flags. I don't think we see it.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, we come up with some good points, man, because I forgot about those too. Like when it comes to the red flags, I should say. We're so blinded, but see, this is for both men and women. We're so blinded by the lust that this person is giving us, the whole mushy feeling type of moment, that we're just pretty much jumping over these red flags. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like every red flag turns into a green flag.
Yeah.
Oh, she beat her children night and day. Oh, green flag. Oh, she embezzled some money. Oh, green flag. Damn, she did time like for like 6 months off of like I don't know, snorting coke, beating up the police or whatever. I don't know, whatever you can make up.
Yeah.
Damn, that's my hell of a woman right there. She a good woman, man. You know, she fighting on her own. We get blinded to that,
I think
and we don't see things in reality.
I think we turn things around to make ourselves believe that who we're chasing is worth it.
Exactly. But see, this goes back to the beginning of this first topic, right? You know, like why men are too focused on what they don't have, but then you focus on what another man has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't have the things, we're not seeking the right things, so we're empty on the inside. But then we're seeing another man who seems like he has his head on his shoulder. He seems like, man, he's like the man of the town. This man has, man, 4 or 5 different concubines. Excuse me. He has like, man, like the best, like, business career. I'm like, man, matter of fact, he's retired at the age of 21. See, we're focused on those type of things. And the thing is, it's not the focus where we're motivated. We're focused on, man, I'm so just. I wish he never had that. I'm so just or envious. I wish I could be in his shoes. But nobody wants to do the work into it. The only work you're doing is complaining. But the reason why those other men did the way that they are is because they work hard enough to build that success. I made like a few shorts, right? And one of my shorts was about capitalism in America was the greatest thing to ever happen. And the reason why I said it was the greatest thing to ever happen in America is because, like, when you go to like these third world countries or these province, these countries that has like a lot of poverty and all that, it could be, let's say, it could be any country, right, outside the U.S. An example, a man, right, in other countries, from what I was taught, right, if you was born poor, a lot of them won't even allow you to marry someone rich. You know what I mean? They will do whatever it takes to keep you into that poverty line. And they will make sure they'll keep the rich where they're at. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies for talking about that part. I give credit where credit's due. Now, the other thing is with America, okay, the reason why a lot of these people from these third countries, they come over here is because they see opportunity. They see opportunity of a person being poor, and they have opportunities to move up in the world and be somebody, to move up in the world and be rich. You know what I mean? Or to be wealthy or have a business and all that. That's my intake on that. But what you think?
Yeah, I think as far as capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna sound bad, but I think it roots out the lazy. That's what it was meant to do. Is if you want something, you strive for it hard, and you get it, and you don't stop until you get it. And just like you're saying, in other countries, people don't always get that opportunity. They're stuck where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of people today, they say, oh, I'm stuck where I'm at. I'm working 2 jobs part-time, but I'm also going and buying cocaine, but I can't pay my bills. It's okay, well,
Yeah.
maybe if you would pass a drug test, you might could get a better job or something. There's always an excuse for why someone's held back. But it's never them. Never the person at fault of why they're not succeeding. And that's why I think capitalism is a good thing, because now, granted, you do have the people who, come from money, and they don't have to do nothing. All they have to do is throw daddy's money around, which is how it works. But their parents or their parents before them or so on and so forth, they had to do something to get that money. They set their family up for that. Someone had to work to get where they're at. So that's my thoughts on it.
And that's very true. But here's the thing, right? The funny thing is that the people from other countries, right, that come from these poor countries, when they come to America, they do very well. They do better than us. You know what I mean? Because they know what it was like to be stuck in the system. Where it's like if you're stuck in this country, you're not going to be able to grow. But you come over to a country, right, that gives you these golden opportunities or these perks, and you take advantage of those, man, you could be whoever you want to be. But for us, you know, because like, you know, we could take that for granted and not do the research. Yeah, capitalism comes into play to weed out all these like lazy people. You know what I mean? So people that says like, oh, I can't get no job, or you know, it's hard out here, like, you know, for a pimp or anything like that, you're just lazy. That's all there's to it. You don't want to work hard. And your best solution is pretty much to go to jail, eat free meals, you know what I mean? Can't say that part, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
there are some exceptions to that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously not everything is a perfect situation. I mean, some people really do. They just have bad luck. You know, they can have a decent job and a family, and you know, their house might burn down and their insurance just expired and they forgot to pay it or something. Like, you know, stuff happens. So I get that. I'm not saying stuff don't happen and everyone should be a billionaire by now. That's just not how it works.
Right.
But there's accountability that an individual needs to have that they don't.
That's true. I'll say this though, right? Man, there's situations where I gained money from the stock market and then I lost money. And then there was times where, man, one time I gained so much and then I just blew it by just one mistake, you know? And, you know, I was angry at the whole world, angry at, you know, all my, angry at just anything I could think of in sight. But the one thing that I failed to realize is to take accountability for my own mistakes, making better decisions, you know, knowing when to get in and knowing when it's time to get out, not be greedy, you know what I mean, when it comes to this. And the reason why I'm putting the market, because the market is the best terms, is that because a lot of times we could get played into our emotions without seeing the common denominator, the root of it. And sometimes the root of it is pretty much we making bad choices and we're not owning up to it. Vouaghn Bryant says envy means discontent, longing for someone's advantages, whereas jealousy means unpleasant suspicion or apprehension or rivalship. Both can happen when we focus on what others have. Yeah, that's right. And neither of those, envy and jealousy, are good and healthy for men. It only leads to a lot of destruction, a lot of deletion, a lot of violence. Because you want what the person has and you can't have it. So now you want to go ahead and delete that person for it. And, you know, that's where, like, you know, a lot of problems like occur, man. Like if we didn't, if the world didn't really have a lot of jealousy and, like, you know, well, I'm gonna sum it up, right? If the world didn't have like a lot of haters, maybe we will be advancing like very well. Maybe we'll be doing like a lot of good things. But that's just what it is, man. You know, unfortunately. Party Cloudy, salutes to you. Thank you for tuning in. So, real quick, everyone. Okay, we're at the 1 hour mark. I'm going to send a stream link to you guys. I would really like if you guys and or ladies can cam up, but other than that, feel free to hop in the chat. If you guys or ladies have like an opinion, have any questions, or maybe you guys want to share like your own personal experiences, you know. But definitely make sure if you guys do come up, stay on topic on these things, and that's pretty much it. So the StreamYard link is up for the YouTube and for the Twitch space as well too. All right. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Before we begin, before we continue on, I'm gonna play this quick intermission. So I'm gonna be for 1 minute. And while we wait for if people want to show up, hold on, let me go ahead and read the background music. All right, so we'll be right back in 1 minute, everybody. Oops, hold on, that's the wrong one. My bad. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Hold on for a second. Make sure I play that. There we go. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for still sticking around with us. If you are just now tuning in, please get the likes up. If you are from the Twitch network as well too, feel free to follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us on YouTube. We are trying to get we're actually on a road to 1,000 subscribers, and we are very very close. I think we are at, let me see. I don't want to give too much away, but okay. Let's just say that we need 40 more subscribers. 40 plus. So definitely please share this video. Give it a thumbs up. Tell your friends, family to watch the replays. But most importantly, encourage people to subscribe. Okay? If you are enjoying this conversation, as Vouaghn Bryant will say, please like, please share, and again, please subscribe. All right. Appreciate everybody for sticking around and visiting us and still tuning in. So definitely salutes to everyone up in here. All right. Let's go ahead and go back to playing some music real quick. Let's see. We're going to play this. All right. So Texas, right? All right. Before we begin, with our conversation, do you want to shout out let me ask you, are you a content creator?
I used to be on Twitch a lot, but I've been just kind of supporting here lately, man.
Okay.
I have thought about doing a lot of just chattings on Twitch and talking about, just issues that people have and healthy ways of coping with them is what I'm thinking about doing.
Okay. Well, that's what's up. Well, look, anytime if you ever decide you want to plug in your Twitch channel, feel free to start yourself out, But if you're here for support, then hey, we thank you very much, for supporting us in this topic. And honestly, I'm glad that you're here because it's always good to have someone to, especially someone that's cammed up like you, to, have these great discussions.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Or any thoughts? Any more thoughts about this topic?
It can get pretty deep, man. How deep you want to go?
Hey, we could get deep. I'm all about having in-depth conversations. So,
all right. So, let's just assume that most men are envious or jealous or focus on what other men have, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you stop that? How do you get that confidence as a man to go through life and not think, I really wish what he had? How do you go through being comfortable enough with yourself to say, I'm happy with what I have. I don't want anything else. How do you get to that point?
Honestly, bro, I think that once you feel like, this is the thing, this could be very tricky on this one. Like, I feel like every man's always going to want something that he does not have. And I guess that's where the envy comes into play. Which, if that envy turns into a motivation for you to want to do better and to really want to do whatever it takes to attain the things that they have, then it's going to be ongoing. But I think the problem is that once you get to a point where you're jealous, that you don't want that person to have certain things because you're not willing to put the work into it, then I think that's where the problem lies in. Now, how to kind of derail that type of thinking? Honestly, if you want those things, you gotta put in the work to get it. And I think if you have those type of things, you might not gonna be as envious. But here's the thing: I feel like there's no cure for a man's envy because we're gonna always. I feel like men are never not just men, just people. We're never going to be satisfied with anything. You know what I mean? And some people look at it as a good way because it just keeps give you a certain type of purpose, motivation. And I think that part in us is why a man constantly, even if you have all these things and you're successful, you still got to have some type of purpose. You're not going to be playing golf all every day. You're not going to be walking around the park every day while still making passive income. You gotta for a man, I think his peace of mind is that as long as he's constantly building and doing something. That's my take on it.
Okay. All right. Touch back from a little bit of where we went earlier about how women's standards kind of affect how we go through our life.
Mm-hmm.
How does a man who is blinded snap out of it and realize that he's ignoring red flags? Because there's a lot of men that really truly just want to make someone happy. You'll hear women say, oh, I really want a nice guy. I want the guy that listens. I want a guy that's got a decent job. Well, that's me. I'm right here, And then they turn around, they hook up with just a jerk. I mean, what kind of message does that send?
Right. Well, I got 3 words that will help. Post nut clarity.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, that shit does wonders, man.
Yeah.
Once you get that stuff out of your system, man, reality hits, man, and your senses, all 6 of your senses, 6, 12, whatever, comes back into you. The thing is that if you're a man has to train himself, and this may come off wrong, but he got to train himself not to be in love. I look. I like I said, I know people's gonna take it the wrong way by me just saying that. Okay, but you can still like someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can still love someone, but when you're in love, I feel like personally, you get blindsided because now, especially when you're in love with this person more than she's in love with you, that becomes dangerous. Think about this, and salutes to OG Patrice. Thank you for tuning in, family. How do you think? Let me tell you this: a woman's game, okay, is solely based off a man's love for her when he's in love for her. I know you're not going to agree, right?
Okay. Let's hear it.
So, when you're in love with this person more than when you're in love with this woman more than she's in love with you, okay? And I'm not talking about good women. I'm talking about like these spiteful type of women, right? Like the female players, right? They use that as game, as leverage to manipulate a man. So someone will allow you to take him out on dinner dates. You know, free dinner dates, and you're not getting nothing out of it.
Yeah.
They will use you as the friend zone buddy. You know what I mean? Not the friend buddy, but the friend zone buddy. Well, they got you in their friend zone, and you're doing everything that they're asking you to do. Okay? Like, you're not even charging them. They're not paying you. You could be the man that's like rotating the tires, change the oil, and all that stuff. You're doing things that a husband should be doing for his wife, but you're not her husband, and you're not getting anything out of it. Meanwhile, she's with someone else that's not even doing those things. He may not even have those type of skills, but she's in love with him, and she's doing whatever that he's telling her to do. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like, being in love with someone is a bad thing, but the thing is, when you're in love with someone more than they're in love with you, that could be dangerous. That's the same thing. How players like they take advantage of these women. Whenever like a woman's in love with them and they don't even have that type of attraction for them, well, they may have a sexual attraction, but you know what I mean? But you have a man that's like, okay, well, I have this woman, I have that woman. I'm not worried about a woman's feelings and how she breaks or whatever. I'm just going to use her to get what I want, sex or whatever, or some type of pleasure. So I feel like it has to be a balance. And if there's no balance to it, I feel like that's where game is applied. And salutes to like Marcus for tuning in.
Oh man, it can get real deep in here, man.
Yeah. What's your opinion to that? I feel like we probably have something that we could disagree on, right?
Maybe something you can help clarify. I don't know about disagreement.
Okay.
Because I'm one of those people. I'll listen to what you have to say and I'll really think on it before I agree or disagree.
All right.
You say a woman's soul. How'd you say that? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Like their game or whatever you said.
Yeah. So like so basically, a woman's game, right, is when a man is more in love with her than she is compared to the guy. Okay. I mean, look, she could probably like the guy or have some type of care for him, but when you're in love with someone, I feel like that's where you're blinded with all the red flags.
Yeah.
Now it's like you're at a love high. You know what I mean? Everything about this woman is so sweet and so beautiful. Even though she could be a serial killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't really care Because you will think that she is like the sweetest woman in the face of this planet.
Yeah. Okay.
But she doesn't really feel that way.
See, that's what confuses me. Is if women want that attention,
Mm-hmm.
why not be more gravitated towards the guy that's giving them that attention?
Well,
That's the $1 million question, I think.
that is. And it's like one of those questions that like you're never gonna really have a good answer to. But if I could like, talk about I guess human nature of things, I feel like the more times a person chases after someone, it repels. But when you're not chasing, they're gonna come to you. It's just strange how it kind of works sometimes.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird type of thing, but it's like, and I'm not gonna say this is all women, right? Because not all women are like this, but most women, especially social media women, okay, when they get on social media, they always portray as the nice guy. It's like the weak one. A lot of women up front will say like, he's sweet, but he's just too nice, and it's like they feel like a person that's nice doesn't really have a backbone. But then it's like when a man hears that type of thing, then he feels like he has to be a asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're still not balanced. So it's like there's a middle ground to it, but I feel like we're lacking in that type of balance. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You could be kind, but you don't have to be a doormat.
Yeah. There's a problem with that, though, is I think if men and women work together, we could find a balance.
Mm-hmm.
But women, in my opinion, are the ones that control that balance.
Mm.
So, no matter what you hear, whether they say they want the nice guy or they want one that's can kind of put them in their place, or however they want to put it,
Mm-hmm.
it fluctuates so much, and either way, the woman is in control.
Well, the reason why the woman's in control is because a woman is the gatekeeper for sex.
That's true. That's true.
However, men are the gatekeepers of relationships. It's all about to gain that control. It's all about building that attachment. So the thing is, in the initial, meet and greet, a woman's going to have absolute power over you because you have to conform yourself to that woman's needs and meet her expectations. If you try and get the digits, if you try and get sex or the relationship. But once you build that attachment between you and a woman, now the power shifts and it's going to gravitate towards the men because now you have something to offer that she wants and she wants to be in that relationship with you. Why do you think most women, they get angry when men don't want to be in a committed relationship? In the beginning, men did all these nice things, all these sweet things, serenade, all this other stuff, just to get close to her, just to even like have a second or third date. And now, since the intimacy happened, the post nut clarity happened, of course, that's where we come to our senses, right? And now the sex is good. They want to be in it. They want that relationship. If you're doing the right things, you gotta work that way to even make her have that attachment to you. Now the part goes back to the man because if a woman's emotionally attached to him, that's a problem for her, not for him anymore. Now you could screw it up and ruin that attachment, but see, it's just. I feel like in life, in nature, man, like it just shifts. Salutes to Southern Troll. Thank you for tuning in. And our person says, not all the time. Yeah, so everything is not always 100% accurate. Everything is not always 100 of the time. But the majority of the time, 99.9% of the time, right? In human nature, that's just the way how it goes sometimes. Women are the gatekeeper of sex. Men are the gatekeeper of relationships, committed relationships. And it's funny because like when sometimes men want the relationship and women don't. Yeah, that part is true. You know, but women are still the gatekeepers of sex. You know, most of the time. Like a man is not gonna be like, no, you're like you can't have sex with me and this, and that. Most men, most men do get into those relationships because of physical attraction. I mean, attraction varies still, but I get what you're saying. Especially with the rise of the feminine men. Mm. But see, even with like, I won't even say like feminine men. I would say men with no options, little to no options, like regular men. Because like men of like his name, men of high value that could like get like the majority of women. I mean, just like how women could get like a lot of dudes if she really wants to. If a man could have the same type of options like a woman has, would a man be faithful? You know, would a man will want to be committed, even though you have thousands of women that's rushing at you, and you want to tell me that as a man, right? You're gonna like tie yourself down and throw away those options? I don't think so. Not the not if you want to compare like to a ratio, not the majority of them. You know what I mean? So that's like the same thing when it comes like to these relationships, man. Like it is based off like the nature of like human beings. Now, for a man who has lesser options, yeah, like you will want to be in a committed relationship most of the time. I mean, you see like a beautiful woman and you're not used to seeing attractive women. No, matter of fact, if you're not even used to even having conversations with attractive women, and this beautiful woman gives you some play and she likes you, oh, you won't definitely want to be in a committed relationship with her because you are so scared that somebody else is going to take her and you won't miss that opportunity. So you will be willing to tie her down. So yeah, I can say that. What's your thoughts, Texas?
What else I got?
What do you think about? Oh, go ahead. That's
No,
super.
what are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say like and yeah, and Central like unfortunately it is superficial. Um, I mean, unfortunately, like most relationships are superficial relationships. To the woman, one the highest value man, to the man, one the most beautiful women that he sees. They're all superficial um, relationships, no matter what, and they're very transactional. But Texas, I was gonna just ask, like, what do you think about that? You know, about certain trolls, like comments, and just how, like, my belief on like male and female nature, well, nature just of relationships.
I think that it's evolved from what it used to be because all you ever used to hear was how men were nothing but players. And now that men are actually starting to open up a little bit more, talk about their feelings, you're finding out why they became players in the first place.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not just teenagers who just want to get some anymore. I mean, that phase is long gone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They put all they had into someone, and they either got, like what you were saying, they got friend zoned. Something could have happened like that. Like, you were trying your hardest, you gave this woman everything, and you just get shot down. And
Right.
I believe what you are saying about we are the gatekeepers of the relationship, especially nowadays. Because now women don't have to try, in my opinion, very hard to be in a relationship. Because there's always some dude out there that just wants to give his heart out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say, though, that women aren't the way they are because they got hurt. Like, they could have put everything they had out there and they got hurt, and that's why they are the way they are now.
Right.
I think our nature as far as protecting ourselves, I think, is going too far as letting our actual nature take its course is the problem. I think everyone's too worried to get open again that they put up these barriers, and that I think that can actually kind of circle back to the topic of the video, man, is everyone's so worried about what everyone else is doing. No one ever really focuses on themselves where they need to.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it all kind of circles around. It's all related, I
Mm.
think.
I could dig that. Let me play. I'm hoping I can find this video. A woman posted this video. Oh, you know what? There was a video that this woman posted like on her Instagram. Give me about a minute to try to pull it up. Hopefully I could be able to find it. Because in this video she definitely had like a good point about something. Okay, there it is. Give me about one minute. All right, sorry. This is gonna take me. Give me about like 1 minute. I gotta log in real quick. Forgot I was good. Central says, "How is the man the gatekeeper? The woman has to agree to marriage or a relationship. People have choices. These talking points are stupid." Okay. Like I said, this is like your opinion to it. So here's the thing, right? I'm gonna just say this. It's funny that like people don't really. It's one thing to not like agree on someone's opinion. But you can't expect somebody else to agree what you think. Point blank period is, I'm just gonna give you like the cutthroat reality of it. The same way a woman has control over sex, because that's the need of what men want. Okay, she is the gatekeeper of sex. All right. Yes, a man can, you know, say no to sex or whatever, but if you look at statistically, how many men go on these dates, try to win women over for sex, as opposed to like just trying to get into a real relationship. Okay, even some of the most beta men, all right, they're out for one thing, and the majority of time is sex, because that's what the majority of men really want. Okay, yes, the relationship, comes along with it if you truly like this person, or if you're just truly like scared of losing like a beautiful woman. So I was to like Vaughn Bryant, like, have a good night, please, sorry, peace and blessings. But when it comes down to it, to the attachment level, okay, because we could get super politically correct on this one, but let's just be fair on this one. Men are still the gatekeepers of relationships, okay, because a woman gets attached, just like men could get attached. Yes, they could say no, but the majority of times, especially in this wicked world, who's the one that's saying no mostly to relationships? Especially if it's the men that the majority of you women really want anyway. So if the majority of women want a high value man, so-called high value man, that could provide like a lifestyle and all these other things, and you bypassing a person that could be really good but broke, or a person who could be good, still has a little bit of money, but yet maybe he's not like fitting like your criteria. Who you gonna go after? Okay, so let's be smart about this and stick with reality. Reality is statistically, you know, women go for things what they desire the most, and men go for things what they desire the most. All right, so let's go ahead and share this. Okay. Let's see. Oops. Add this to the stream. All right. Go ahead and play this. Fair use. Oh, damn, that's so loud. What the heck? Gotta turn this down.
Oh no, a man who likes you and is being himself around you and not thinking twice about whether this is tough or masculine. Yeah, I'm personally still wondering why you cheated on him. People aren't about all that like touchy-feely stuff. But if you're not about it, then why did you go get all touchy-feely under the covers with somebody else? I'm just a little bit confused.
And also, like, feel free to, like, subscribe to her IG and her YouTube channel.
I swear, like, men can't do anything right nowadays. They ask for 50-50 and they're trash. They ask you to go for coffee on the first date and they're trash. They share their emotions and they're trash. Like, I don't fucking get it. Do you know how many people would, like, fight somebody? Like, fight a child to have that type of love and affection? I don't know about you, but I got 2 words for you. No dick.
All right. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of share that because there was something that I think someone said, right? And I should have wrote this down because I know I tend to forget a lot of things, but it was something about like why can't why can't we just be ourselves and meet on a middle ground? I think you said something about that. I'm paraphrasing what you said earlier, but it would be nice if men and women could kind of be on a 50-50 type of level. Or matter of fact, a man gives us 100%, a woman gives her 100%. But unfortunately, and this is an example. It's not to this can happen to women. This can happen to men, right? The problem is with human beings, it seems like people are not allowed to be vulnerable. it's like being vulnerable is just such a bad thing. You know what I mean? And if we're talking, since we're mostly talking about men, I think men's vulnerability is deemed as weak so much that there's not a lot of articulation, not a lot of positive emotion that's being expressed, in my opinion.
I agree. I think with the vulnerability thing too, and talking about, either both giving 100% or both going 50-50. As far as, talking about being the gatekeepers, the men, most of the time, at least from what I've seen and in my experience, you get what you think is going to be the woman of your dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some people will stop trying after they do that, but the woman will leave you if you quit trying, right? As men, it is up to us to keep that standard and either keep it rising or just give them whatever they want. We have to constantly work on ourselves because we already thought they were perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We have to constantly improve ourselves, in my opinion.
Right. Well said. That give shout outs to B-Eazy Dat Dude, since he's in the building. What up, B-Eazy? Talk to us. How you doing, man? I don't know, B-Eazy, can you hear us?
Yeah, his mic muted.
Oh yeah, B-Eazy, you're muted. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, how you doing, B-Eazy?
I'm good, bro. How y'all feeling?
Man, we're blessed, man. Just like another hot topic, a little deep, could get controversial as always. So, yeah, we're good. But I want to get your thoughts, man, because I know like the main topic was, are men too focused on what they don't have compared to other men? But we also have like our usual subtopics in play. But what's your thoughts, man?
My thoughts on what in particular?
Your thoughts, like, okay, because I know you was in the chat for a minute. What was your thoughts like as far as everything that we was discussing about men not really being focused on what they really should be focused on. Like I feel like they focus on the wrong things on what other people have, as opposed to counting their blessings. And then when it comes to men and female relationships, men get caught up into as far as what's that word I'm looking for? Looking for the validation from a woman, as opposed to I wouldn't say self-validating yourself, but I feel like it's opposed to really having a personal motivation. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so pretty much, to put it plainly, bro, the majority of men are simps. They have a simpish mindset, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that in terms of it being a bad thing. Some people may be a simpish mindset, but they also are just, really good, solid dudes. The reason why I say it's simps because the majority of dudes vagina worship. They put women on a pedestal above themselves. And most of it is based off of superficial things. They'll look at her and say, damn, she's bad. And now just because she apparently is bad and looks good, she's above you somehow. Even if you're able to build a house, even if you're able to change tires and lift 400 pounds, you'll think that she's better than you just based off looks. You'll think that she's better than you because she has a vagina. You know what I mean? Like you'll literally downplay your penis to big up her vagina, right? Oh, look at her boobs, right? You know what I mean? Like everything on her is just is magnified, right? So dudes You know, when even if they're in shape, they just like, I just have a six pack. Even if they're a high earner, I'm just a high earner. I'm just a tall guy. You know what I mean? Like everything they have, they downplay. But with everything that a woman has, like if you have a Charger M3, if you got a Charger, people gonna be like, is it the Hellcat? Oh, is it the 5.7? You know what I mean? If she has just the economy Charger, they can be like, yo, girl, slay queen. You know what I mean? And dudes would be right there cheering it on too, saying, yeah, she's killing it. Like, hold on, like which one is it? Or is it equal? Is it 50-50? Are we holding the same standards? Because if we're not, then let's say that realistically, women want their men to be better than them in most aspects, not all aspects. They just don't like it worded like that. But that's essentially what they want, right? They want you to be better equipped to deal with survivalist situations, right? They want you better than them in strength, right? When someone breaks into the house, they want the best defender of the house to go out there and defend the house. Who is that going to be? She doesn't want to be the best defender of the house. She really doesn't want to be the best earner of the house. And I'm not saying this is for everyone, but generally, you guys have heard the video with hypergamy. Women, they don't word it like that, but essentially they want their man to be financially better, physically stronger and better. You know what I mean? If he's a leader, he kind of has to be better in some regards. Now, that doesn't mean in every aspect. It doesn't mean that she has no value, but I'm saying this is essentially what women seek. Like if a woman is seeking out Drake, she's not seeking out Drake or Chris Brown or LeBron or something because she thinks I'm on the same level. She thinks those men are superior to her in some type of way. Will she word it like that? No. They're okay with you being superior, but as long as you're not treating them you're not on some some dictatorship, they're okay with that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, who wouldn't be? So we just got to be careful with how we view things. Dudes should look at themselves to say, hey, in certain regards, I need to be better than my woman on this. You know what I mean? Like you can't, because they say 50-50, but I always use the burglar stuff. It can't be like, baby, it's your time to go stop the burglar. I fought the dude last time. We're 50-50, right? You know what I mean? Like you as a man, you expect to be better than her. You know what I mean? As a man, you should kind of expect to be financially better than your woman. Now, even if you don't, it doesn't mean that, not everyone can have the healthy relationship, but it's just something to strive for. You know what I mean? Just like women, ask women, do they think they're better with kids? A lot of women think that they're better with kids than men. Is that true? I mean, you got to put it to the test. You know what I mean? But most men have to every day put things to the test. You have to be financially better than her every day. You're putting that to the test. You have to be physically better than her every day. You're putting it to the test. And she's being better than you in certain things, maybe managing the house, cooking, certain temperament. All of this stuff is interchangeable and none of it is absolute. But from my research, analytical studies, most women do want their spouse to be better. So I think men should be striving to be better than their woman, not a better I'm a man, so I'm just automatically better than you. I'm just mean in the certain regards that matter. You know what I mean? They definitely want you to be better in sexual performances, right? Like let's not leave that out. And a lot of times they want you to be better than whoever their best was, right? Like, let's be honest, bro. Like, if you're a dude and you're with your girl and you had your high school crush and you be like, look, I'm happily married. But every now and then you start thinking about like, man, that was some good stuff. It was 10 years ago, but you still never forget it. Chicks be the same way. She might be married, but she still think about the guy that blew her back out. So ultimately, she kind of wants you to be the same or better. And even you too, you want to be like, man, I want to be the best that she ever had. I want to control, this vagina. So, you know what I mean? People understand the concept of better. So I think if you just strive for it, you know what I mean? If you fall somewhere short in the middle, I think you'll be good, you know what I mean? But it starts with men wanting and needing to be better. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
In anything, you could be like, man, I'm a sexual demon. I'm like, I'm sure there's room for improvement, right? Like, oh man, I'm earning X amount. I'm like, I'm sure there's room for improvement for you to earn financially. Oh, I'm bench pressing 300. I'm sure you could get to 325. You know what I mean? Like, there's always room for you to get better. So I think we should all try to strive to be better. And then imagine if your woman was even trying to compete with you being better financially, but it was all for the betterment of the household, not on no toxic stuff. But and it was all coming back. I mean, that wouldn't be really a bad thing, right? You know what I mean? If y'all were competing to be better than each other at cleaning. Like, that's, you know what I mean? What's the worst going to come out of that? That you guys have a clean house, and like Texas was saying earlier, and I said it in the chat, like, someone has to be better. Someone has to be in control. It doesn't mean that you're always in control, and then it doesn't mean that you're better at everything. But we do need to acknowledge better stuff. And so, you know what I mean? LeBron may be better than you at basketball, right? But then if you get around LeBron and play Call of Duty with him, you might be better than him. You know what I mean? And he just have to acknowledge that. Doesn't mean that you're a better person than him, and it doesn't mean he's a better person than you, just by virtue of being a Hall of Fame NFL player. Once we understand that and are able to just embrace that, I think, people will start valuing themselves more. And by valuing themselves and pursuing their purpose more, I think their loved ones, everything else will align. You know what I mean? Because when somebody it's like, if you're on the football team, right? Say we're all on the football team and you guys are just sitting there on your phone. And and everybody else just start busting down, doing burpees and throwing ball. It's like, you gonna start looking kind of clownish just sitting there on your phone while we really active. So you're gonna have to internalize that and say, hey, I'm not trying to look like a clown. I'm finna put this phone down, and then you get with the program. I don't really got to keep saying, Texas, are you going to put your freaking phone down? Like, you're just going to kind of look like a loser over there. We're working hard, and you're just over there twiddling your thumbs. You know what I mean? You got to have that introspection, put the phone down, and then welcome you with open arms. That's pretty much how it is with men. If you think that the woman don't believe in you, it's probably because you don't believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Show and prove your value by your actions and your behavior, and then she'll get in line. She'll put that phone down and say, oh yeah, I'm getting with this program.
Wow.
He just got the deep knife and just slit it open, man.
No, absolutely, man. Like, I definitely I definitely respect your talking points. Sorry, your reply, B-Eazy, because like you're absolutely right on this one. Hold on for 1 second. I gotta give a salute to like Alonzo Hall. Thank you for tuning in. Because like the thing is that like, okay, like if you don't believe in yourself as a man, you can't expect nobody to believe in you. You can't expect other men to believe in you. You can't expect women that you want to believe in you. It's like, let's take it for like on a sales perspective, all right? If you're doing sales, and you're trying to sell a product, so imagine you're the product, but you're selling yourself. How convincing are you if you try to downplay the product that you're trying to sell? Oh, like, this product that I have, like, it's all right. It's not the greatest compared to other products, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
personally,
mediocre. It's not as fast. It's not as strong, but you should still consider it though.
exactly. You should like this product for what it is, like, and that's the same way how guys they treat themselves when they're asking women, You should like me for me. You know, my mama told me to make sure that a woman will accept you for all your flaws. Man, I've been in prison. I'm lazy. You should still look like me for me because I'm myself. I'm being myself. I'm goofy, but you should accept me for who I am because that's the way how I view society, and the world should revolve around me. Unfortunately, man, shit doesn't really happen like that.
And M3, let me set you up for this. Could you speak on men always thinking that, like, because you said, unfortunately, society is not set up like that, right? Could
Mhm.
you speak on men thinking that society owes them understanding and owes them respect? You know what I mean? That's something that you earn, right? Hey, I'm lazy. I should automatically get the bad chick, and I should automatically get respect from the alpha males simply for existing.
Mm. Yeah, man, that shit don't even fly with them. That's the thing. Like, and the funny thing is, it goes in both ways because a woman's not gonna
Definitely
respect you.
goes both ways.
Yeah, a woman's not gonna respect you, and a man is not gonna respect you. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, "Look, man, get the fuck out of here, man, with all that bullshit." They're gonna be thinking like, man, like, okay, he's not even on our level, on that mature mindset. Look, man, as a man, look, we got things that we have to do, man. And that's where, like, earlier I was saying about, like, a lot of them can be entitled. The reason why there's so much rift into these relationships because everyone has this entitled type of mindset. Basically, you're just pretty much delusional. The same way
Yeah, that
yeah.
no, I was saying that's actually I'm glad you used the word entitled because that is pretty much synonymous, but that's what I was saying. People feel entitled, right? You feel entitled to respect simply because I'm a man, or you might even wear a nice outfit and you feel entitled to the women because you wore a Gucci belt. Like, nah, bro, you still actually have to present yourself, verbally and physically, when not just throwing on some shirts and then thinking that, hey, I'm supposed to get respect. Or even I mean, you can't just go to the gym, right, and bench press 400 and then think that some young thug on the block is just gonna respect you because you're buff. Like, I mean, that is a form of entitlement and delusion, right? I'm muscular, so I'm entitled to, like, walk around mugging people. No, some young idiotic person will, like, have no problem deleting you. You know what I mean? And it's not right or wrong, but, like, neither of you are right, right? You're not right going around acting like Billy Badass, and this person's not right acting like it's the Wild Wild West. You know what I
Well,
mean? So it's
yeah,
like at some point, we just got to be definitely more mindful of our surroundings and how it comes off.
be easy. I was going to add on to this though, right? Like, but see, the majority, right, statistically men feel entitled, not even just about like the way you dress or the way you look. You may not even be all those things. You may be like a goddamn incel. But most men feel entitled by the one thing they feel like that they carry, and that's being nice and respectful. A nice, polite, respectful man towards a woman, those are the ones that feel entitled the most. Because what did they say when they get rejected? Well, damn. Well, what do we have like that? That like all these things that you're describing that you want to treat you right. I'm that man. I treat you right. I open the door for you. Matter of fact, I open my heart for you. I tell you all about my flaws and all that. I should be entitled to have you right now. That's how some of these dudes be acting. What you think? Go ahead. Go ahead, Beezy.
Yeah, no, that's the entitlement, that's the delusion, and it's actually quite pathetic because if you have to basically cry and whine and complain over someone that's showing no interest in you, that is a form of deep self-hatred and low self-esteem, in my opinion. You have a low sense of, feeling adequate. Because if someone is making it very clear that they have no interest in you, and instead of you saying, you know what, I'm just gonna, hey man, maybe I could lose some pounds, maybe I can earn a little bit more money, and someone is gonna find me attractive and they're gonna get with my program. Instead of doing that, you're trying to beg people that don't even like you to somehow fall in love with you by you begging, by you showing signs of weakness and vulnerability. Now, being vulnerable is not just automatically a sign of weakness, but when you're being rejected and you start being vulnerable out of desperation, that can be viewed as a sign of weakness. Not after you've already developed a bond and then you become vulnerable, but when you're vulnerable out the gate and you're crying and doing all this incel stuff, why should this woman take you serious? She sees you as like kind of an emotional chick, and she's already emotional, so she doesn't want to, have some daughter, you know what I mean, or some catty girlfriend. This is the point where she's looking for a man to be better than her in certain aspects. You know what I mean? Better at leading, better at guiding, better at, financial and, asserting himself, so that she doesn't have to, she can just fall back and rest in her femininity. But if this dude is not, he doesn't have the propensity for masculine leadership, then she's just kind of not attracted. She might entertain it, but you know how it is. M3, those are usually for like OnlyFans subscriptions, food dates, Starbucks dates, because those incels, that's actually a victory to them. But to your point, this is another thing that happens too. They'll pay for the OnlyFans subscriptions, and they FaceTime them. They sometimes if the chick is selling kitty, they may even have interactions with them that way. Or sometimes they're just sugar daddies, and then they just go out on dates, but then they start wanting more, and they believe because of that money that they spent, they're entitled to more. And some, unfortunately, try to take it by force. But if they would, all that money they were investing, if they would have invested in themselves, with either, self-help, hobbies, go down to the gun range, get a gym membership. Like, there's other ways that they could have reallocated those funds to invest them in themselves. But back to my earlier point, how most guys have a simpish mindset in vagina worship. Those hundreds of dollars were more well spent going to some random chick that doesn't even like them, rather than investing it in stocks, business, crypto, gold, or anything. I know a buddy that's personally very successful. He told me he tricked off 50,000. I mean, not just one time, but over like a course of, I think, like 7 years on prostitutes. 50,000, bro. And then they the justification is, oh, it's not tricking if you got it. Like, no, it's tricking no matter how you slice it. But the rationale is, oh, I have the money, I can support my half. It's just like if you spent 50,000 on cocaine or opioids, and you're like, it ain't, I ain't been a junkie, you know what I mean, with the 50, like, bro, you spent 50K on this, you know what I mean? So, dude, it's the vagina has become a drug to the men, that they rather spend money, chasing a high, a high that only a new piece of coochie will bring them. You know what I mean? And that's the social hierarchy where they've automatically elevated the woman above them just simply by having a vagina. You know what they say, the only people that are loved conditionally, are kids, pets, and women. You know what I mean? So, men, you got to earn your respect. You got to earn your love. You got to earn everything. But and men will be willing to earn all of this stuff and give it to a woman. Women will not be once even if a woman earns all of this stuff, most of them are still looking for a man to give it to them, right? M3, if you become a millionaire, you're like, I don't care about if my wife worked at McDonald's and she was my wife to be, that's what you would do. Now, if a woman had millions of dollars, she wouldn't marry a dude from McDonald's. Now there will be some, the few that will say, I met my husband. Okay, cool. But majority, like everyone knows, like even I don't know if any of you guys have dating apps, but if you were on Tinder, you wouldn't be so gung ho to put like, I work at McDonald's on your thing. You would be like, people lie about their height on there. You know what I mean? People lie about their income. You think people would be truthfully saying, hey, I worked here at McDonald's? You think a woman would really want to do that? But a man, if you seen her work at McDonald's, you'd be like, cool, already know, I'm going to give her a better life than working at McDonald's. But a woman is not thinking like, I'm not going to give this dude a better life. He could stay working at McDonald's. She's looking for someone on her same level, but what her preference is someone above her level. You know what I mean? When chicks say, I want someone that's on my level, what they really mean is someone above their level. Because even if you're financially on the same level, you still have to be above her in some regards, because in terms of your leadership expectations and what you're physically expected to do, which is put your life on the line. You know what I mean? If she has an attitude and you seen at the game, if she wants to start popping off at Texas and then Texas gets mad at me, like, bro, you gotta check them. Like, even if I'm just trying to chill and drink my beer, now all of a sudden I have the physical burden of whatever her mouth will or won't get me into. You know what I mean? Same thing with your kids. Something happens at your kids with the school, some bullies. Who is expected to really bear the physical brunt? I'm not talking about moms going down there yelling. I'm saying when things get physical, let's say another dad gets involved or the bully touches your wife. Who is expected to get physical? You. So even with all of the financial stuff, it's still not equal.
And
someone has to be above.
And that's where, like, it goes back to, like, even our earlier conversations, like, with Texas, right? When you mentioned about the primal thing, because primarily, it all goes back into almost kind of like the caveman era, where the caveman is like aggressive enough, but yet you're doing these things to protect your family. You're getting the job done. You're making sure there's like food on the table for you and your household. And you're making sure that your wife is comfortable, the children is comfortable, and everything is in control and it's in order. And one thing I was going to say, and before I get to you, Texas, right? And actually this goes for both of you guys were saying earlier. See, the thing is, it's funny, right? Because women hate the men, right? Men is always going like the simps or whatever. Women cannot stand like a simp. They look at him like he's weak, like a weak man. But the funny thing is those weak men, or the ones that we call simps, are the ones that's funding your OnlyFans lifestyle. That is funding. No other man, right, is going to fund you as much as a person that is solely in love with you, even if he haven't even met you in person. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that's going to donate tons of money to fund your account to make sure you're living a lavish life. Meanwhile, you're despising them.
Bro, that's wild, bro. I gotta pick it up right there, because that is.
Wait.
Oh, you got some, Texas?
No, I don't, man. My phone is about to die because I don't have a camera. I'm on like 3%. I really enjoyed these talks. B-Eazy, you just blew my mind with a lot of the stuff you just said. It's crazy.
All right, on, bro, man. We gotta do this some other time when you got more juice, brother.
Definitely, I'll be
Texas,
checking in regularly.
real quick, do you have Instagram account?
No, man. I stay off the internet. Too many trolls, too much drama.
Okay, I get you though. Well, Texas, man, anytime when we go live, if you catch us, man, feel free to hop back in the chat, man. I'm sorry, not chat. Hop
Hey,
back
if you
in the
just got an
channel.
email, just drop like your email in the back chat, so that way we can at least correspond with you that way.
Okay. If you want, M3, as you see it on here, that's my Twitch. You can just send me a whisper. I get on Twitch and try to support people every day. So you just text Sun 25. You want to write that down or something? But just send me a whisper on there. But other than that, I'll be checking YouTube or Twitch to see if you go live.
All right, man. Like, definitely, man. Anyways, man, I appreciate your time, Texas Sun.
Thanks.
I'm about to go ahead and wrap this up anyways, though. But thank you, man.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, you too.
Peace.
All right, B-Eazy, yeah. But going back to like what you were saying.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to look for the right descriptive word, because I could say it's a lot of stuff, but I would definitely say it's definitely very ungrateful, unappreciative, and a bit diabolical, right? Because imagine, I'm producing music, right? And all of the people are supporting me, and I'm just disgusted with them. But the reason why I'm riding in a fancy car, the reason why I got a chain, the reason why I got a lavish lifestyle is because of the fans and supporters that I'm completely disgusted with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people will be like, damn, what would people call me? Like, man, forget him, bro. Like, he'll never see another one of my dollars. But like, these dudes worship vagina so much that they know that they're despised. They know they'll be willing to deal with the disparagement just to see some vagina that they can see for free, right? Just so they can get a personalized rejection. Because that's all they're getting. They're getting a personalized rejection or a fantasy, right? The GFE, the girlfriend experience. But it's an experience that's not real. It's like the Oculus, right? You put on the Oculus and you know how people be punching and it look like they fighting somebody. It look funny, right? Because in their eyes, it looks like they're really fighting someone. But as you take the Oculus off and no one's there, you're in the room by yourself.
Exactly.
That's what these dudes are. These OnlyFans Oculus individuals is continuously pedestalizing the punani and downplaying themselves. And the women is like, look, women, from a business standpoint, that's okay if you prefer, thugs and bad boys and Chads and Jamals and Pookies. That's okay, right? But look, just some friendly advice, Don't be disparaging the tricks, the incels, because those are your biggest fans, your biggest supporters, your biggest clients. The dudes that like the chick, the dudes that the chicks really want to smash, they're not paying. Those are the niggas just pulling up and smashing. So you're not even really getting nothing from them, but some sexual excitement, penis don't pay no bills. At least the incels is actually was the reason why you was able to get that new iPhone and the reason your car note is paid. So it's like, have a bit respect, have some class, you know what I mean? For reals, bro. Have some damn respect for these men, bro, because even the men too, and like, I won't talk about, some of my street dealings on this, but I'm speaking from experience, you know what I mean? So it's like, look, I'm not an incel, I'm not one of these square dudes, but like, I don't really hella look down on these square dudes because look, bro, if I'm in this lifestyle, it's those dudes that are going to keep the business afloat. So why would I disparage them? And at the end of the day, they may be like inept when it comes to dating and women, but some of those dudes are like crazy when it comes to like, maybe building computers or computer hacking or mechanic. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we limit certain men only down to their ability to get women, and that's a form of pedestalizing the punani once again. You know what I mean? Incel, involuntary celibate. That's once you hear that, that's the whole focus is on their sexual proclivities, how they're able to get women. Look, the dude may be a loser, he may be a virgin, he may be a great guy who just happens to be a virgin, but then we just reduce them down to that. What if this dude could really help you build your website from scratch, but you're so focused that he's an incel? You know what I mean? Like, so what? Like, you know what I mean? So I just think people need to just wake up, because it really, like you were saying, it really be those incels that know how to do all this. You know what I mean? They know how to they be like engineering and running all these corporate jobs, because a lot of them are smart, book smart, technical smart, but they are not smart and savvy at approaching women. You know what I mean? And typically dudes from the streets, not all, but typically dudes from the streets are not as book smart and tech smart, but they are street smart, and they use their street smarts to get what they want. You know what I mean? To mac on girls, to hustle and all this stuff. So they get it by being slick, charming, cunning, sometimes conniving. And the other dudes are not like that, because they never had to be like that. All they had to be was sophisticated, intellectual, you know what I mean? So they can't fathom like game, you know what I mean? Red pill, you know what I mean? Cold approach, all of this stuff is like speaking a foreign language. But then if you say, hey, could you code this website for me? That's a foreign language to you. You know what I mean? So y'all could be feeding off each other's game instead of you just saying he's an incel, right? Look, man, if you got that many chicks, won't you give a, you know what I mean? Won't you shoot the, hey, look, like here, look, man, here's my homie. He's about to help me build a PC, because honestly, they would just be cool with just being in the presence of women, right? They're used to being in there by themselves talking to people on the game. So like if you have a party and there's a bunch of beautiful chicks around, so I instead of clowning the incels, like, look, I'm throwing a barbecue. It's gonna be some fine ones over. Won't you come over, bro? You know what I mean? Just don't be on no weirdo. Don't be on no weirdo pervy, because sometimes cats do, get a little pervy. But as long as you're not impervious, then I think it was cool. So shout out to the incels. Incel lives matter. You know what I mean? And if any of you incels is out there, and I'm sure y'all are as proficient with the technical aspects of coding and all sorts of other stuff, man, hit me up. You know what I mean? Because I would love to pick your brain on that.
Exactly. You know what, B-Eazy, I'm gonna add something to this, right? So everything that you mentioned about incels, the nerds, and all that, this is what reminds me of. Okay, and this is no disrespect to like the Fresh and Fit podcast. Okay, definitely much respect to these guys, but I personally and they kind of open up on this one. These guys are nerds. Now I think Fresh would have been an incel, at least damn near incel in America, probably. These are two dudes that, to me, in my opinion, that before they started this podcast and became like what they are today, okay, you got people like Fresh that, and he kind of showed us, like, it was like something like 5 years ago, like he was very nerdy. He got rejected by this big major company or whatever, and they told him like, "Yo, he'll be nothing." They were just straight clowning him, you know. And now look where he's at today. You know,
Correct.
you know,
He was married to a single mom. You know what I mean? You know how they always
I
preach in
know
that
that.
type of, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? So that let you know what his options was, right? He wasn't really getting chicks like that, that he had to settle for a single mom that it wasn't his kid, right? She already had a kid with somebody else who didn't want her. He married her and then it didn't work out. He said he would never do that again. They admitted pretty much that they were nerds. So you know what I mean? Like I'm not hating on nerds or anything like that, because you know, to a certain extent, I consider myself like a ghetto nerd. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
like I
But my
never was having those issues with women like they were having for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, and my point is that like and shout outs to like ESO Hopeful. Thank you for tuning in. But
Shout
my
out to ESO.
but my point is that like, and then if you look at Fit, right now, Fit looked like the type of guy that maybe had like a girlfriend too or whatever. I'm not even saying like physically he's a well, anyways, look, my point is saying like, okay, socially, right? You know, socially, and I still feel like he's socially awkward. You know, because even with all the fame and money and all that, and the high valueness, when I do see some of the videos or whatever, I mean, yeah, they know how to talk to people. I'll give them that. But then there's like moments where I'm like, well, damn, like Fresh is still he's still like a young, goofy type of kid. You know what I mean? There's still some maturity that he needs to like adapt into. Um, Fit, Fit need to look like Myron. Myron needs to work on, you know. To me, he seemed like he's could be a little bit socially awkward. Now he does talk a good business talk when it comes like to these big wigs. Now he does, and he's pretty. He's a smart dude. You know, but I think when it comes to women on a social level, there's something that probably held him back, or there's something. I'm not saying he's afraid or whatever, but socially, he just doesn't really, in my opinion, I don't know if he knows how to really. Mm, like I said, I'm not dissing him. It's just like I feel like socially, like they still need a lot more growing to do, in my opinion. You know,
Well, absolutely.
that's like all of us.
And this is another thing too. I will say at least that they did recognize, you know, that they weren't the people, you know, the red pill raiders that they're purporting themselves to be at one time. So you had to acknowledge that, recognize that, and
Mm-hmm.
they invested a lot in coaching, mentorship. They
Mm-hmm.
paid a lot of this stuff, so a lot of their talking points, you know, are regurgitated from, you know, the lessons they've learned and took, you know. So that's, you know, good to see them progress. But I
Agree.
always look at it like this. You've seen Karate Kid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know who Daniel's son is, right?
Hold on. Like before, Karate Kid's the
Daniel.
one with Jada Smith, right? Or was it something else? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that is the one. That's a
Okay.
remake of the original one. You
Mhm.
seen the new show Cobra Kai?
I seen a few episodes, but I didn't really get in depth to it. So
Okay. So
I think
so
it's
so
talking about.
so it's from an older movie, and the
Mhm.
original movie is Karate Kid. Daniel's son is the kid that he trains, and his sensei master
Mhm.
is Mr. Miyagi. Do you know who Mr. Miyagi is?
Yeah. I remember Miyagi.
Okay, cool. So essentially, the point is
Okay.
Daniel's son became a great fighter,
Mhm.
you know, and you can become a great fighter, but did he really outshine the master? Is he better than Mr. Miyagi? Is he even in the same stratosphere as Mr. Miyagi? So that's kind of, you know, what it is with them, right? They may
Mhm.
have got proper coaching, you know, and they may have went to the Mr. Miyagi, but it's like to try to act like now they are Mr. Miyagi, you know what I mean? What is a bit too far. I can't say that, hey, that they couldn't win some karate tournaments, you know what I mean, and get some trophies, but to just act like, hey, this person is the sensei, you know what I mean. It's just like if someone was coaching, right, and they got their game from Phil Jackson, and then they start coaching, and then and you're like, he's above Phil Jackson. Like, what? He won a couple games and now you saying he's Phil, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what people are doing, they'll look at people and say, "Oh, they're saying some great stuff. They're Mr. Miyagi." Like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that, cause like, yeah, they may have said some good stuff, but it's not like original thoughts. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
it's
right.
a lot of the talking points are regurgitated. I'm not gonna say that they're not accurate, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying everything is accurate. I would have to like break down some shit by case basis. But they have shown, their propensity for like awkward nerdiness, you know what I mean? At the times, and that could be cool, maybe if you watching Lord of the Rings and shit. But when you supposed to be, you know, macking and stacking, you feel me, and attacking with this game, then that's not a time to be essentially, what I mean, slacking intellectually in any type of way, and you see many times that that have a certain type of woman on there, you know what I mean, because typically certain women are kind of easier, to dismantle with their talking points, you know what I mean.
Yeah, real quick, B-Eazy. I gotta give a shout outs to Late to the fallout. Definitely good to see you again, sis. Um, hey, if you're available, come up to the live stream and have a conversation. Yes, Maya. Yes, definitely for sure. Please like cam up if you can, but I would definitely like to bring you up there. I remember, and this was months ago. Oh, maybe almost a year ago. I know like you tried to come up, and at the time we was wrapping things up, but please feel free to come through because I would definitely love to get a woman's perspective in all this conversation that we have. So the stream link is up, and we'll wait for you to come up. But yeah, excuse me. But yeah, man. Oh wait, here she is. Let me see, Sheree. Okay, let's see. Can you cam up for a second? Just so I can, okay. All right, I'm about to bring you up. You ready?
Hey.
Oh, okay. All right. How you doing?
Hello, my friends.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, there's so many times that things that get shitty that you cannot have control over, that you just have to breathe and go, you know what? I'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, sometimes a lot of things is usually out of like, our control, but then there's times like when you do have like control of the situation, what do you do about it?
You make good food. That's what you do. You make some good food.
Yep. Okay, so late tomorrow. Well, am I pronouncing it Sheree, right?
Yeah, Sheree.
Okay, Sheree. Okay, question, right? Because I want to get a woman's perspective on this. I don't know how much you probably got from tonight's live stream. If you just came in, I know you probably missed like a whole lot. But my thing is like, okay, as far as with men, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the title of this, right, is are men? Actually, let me go ahead and pull it up real quick.
You can't even remember your own title. Oh, that's so funny.
Hey.
Anyways, no. I'm sorry.
No.
But I can't even remember my own videos. So.
Hey, we do so much, right? But the title is like, are men focused on what they have compared to? No, so are men focused on what they don't have compared to other men? Because the whole title keeps scrolling through. But yeah. So
the answer to your question is yes.
Okay. And then
Because everybody compares themselves to anybody else. That's just a natural thing to do. Like if I start screwing up in my house, I start comparing me to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not doing good enough because they are doing good enough, then I start comparing myself. So comparing is a very natural thing.
Okay. Very natural. So that's the same thing like when it comes to like women, right? Because you know, in the same retrospect, you know, women do compare themselves with other women. But what are the things that women compare themselves about?
Oh, boobs.
Okay. And then
Oh,
like
dude, again, I'm only on an A, maybe a B. And here
Mhm.
I am, 40 years old. I've gone through 3 children. They have all breastfeeded from me and everything else, but I am still at an A. I will
Okay.
never get boobs bigger than an A or a B.
Oh, I mean, now these days a lot of women do surgical enhancements. You
And
know,
that's not
I,
an issue for men.
but I can't afford it.
yeah. Wait, what you say? Be easy.
No, I was saying having A cups is not a issue for men.
Mm-hmm.
It's the women who want to compete and compare boob size. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. So I just want to make that clear, because sometimes they make it seem like, oh, well, the guys like big boobs. Guys like big boobs. Guys suck on saggy boobs. They suck on A cups. They suck on B cups. That they'll
Yeah,
take the
because
boobs as they are.
Yeah,
I
pretty
can
much.
agree with that.
Mm-hmm. But I know there's other things that women usually compare themselves to, and like, and these are the things that maybe.
What about, hold on, I gotta ask her this. Since you
Okay,
said
go
they
ahead.
compare about boobs,
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
about weight?
Oh,
Oh,
Do you look at someone and say, I'm skinny. I wish I was that thick, or oh, thank goodness I'm not that big.
and actually, kind of, yeah, because I can never weigh over 110 pounds. Like, I've tried. Unless I am pregnant, I have never weighed over 110 pounds. So when I get to 105, just because I simply decide not to eat for a while, which,
hmm.
by the way, I do eat, but again, in order to keep up my metabolism, I have to have at least like 2,300 calories a day. And sometimes I skip out on it. Why? Because I just don't feel like eating. I just don't want to eat. I just don't want to chew. I just don't want to eat. So I have my own problems with my weight type of deal, but I've never weighed over like 105 pounds.
Is it a problem with like your metabolism, or is it hormone like problems? If you mind if I
I
ask.
think it's more of a metabolism type of thing because I'm quick. Like,
And how
I
tall are you?
yeah.
How tall are you?
5'6.5".
Oh wow, that's a really good weight for 5'6". I mean, a lot of women 5'6" nowadays are upwards of 110 pounds.
140 or 100. Like,
It,
seriously, on 5'6", I should weigh close to 120 to 100, like 119 or 120 or
yeah,
like
like
115,
120 would
125
be
pounds.
Yeah.
ideal.
But
But
my metabolism just does not allow it.
do you work out a lot? Or do you
No.
like, okay,
No,
do
I play
you
video. I
walk
play
or do
video
anything?
games in my room.
You're a gamer?
Yeah.
Dope.
What games do you play?
Fallout, BioShock, Disney Dreamlight Valley right now. Totally Disney Dreamlight Valley has gotten me hooked.
What console, or are you PC?
Oh, dude, PC Master Race all the time.
Yikes, you a
I
real
did not
you a
spend my
real deal
money.
gamer then.
All right, that's what's up. Okay, let me because I mean, at this point, man, like this is the kind of like, going to probably be like a little open, like conversation. But okay,
Yeah,
So
you can ask me.
okay, so it's good to like kind of like have interaction with a woman that's into the gaming industry. You know, that likes like video games. Because I'm going to be honest with you, you know, it is very rare when we have someone on the, especially on the panel, that's into like those type of video games. You know, I think no, well, Pretty Buck Chica, she likes playing video games every now and then, right? But she's more like a workout type of person. Now, you're more of like a PC gamer. Do you play other games like like Call of Duty, like and um,
Mortal Kombat,
Combat,
Solstice,
Street Fighter,
Destiny,
Dude,
Tekken?
Halo.
I still have Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 on
Mortal
my,
Kombat is
like,
fire.
no, on my Sega Genesis. I still own my Sega Genesis.
Oh wow,
Oh,
I'm jealous of that. I had a Super
right.
Nintendo.
You also
I
got to
still
think,
got that.
I'm like over 40 years old. I've
That ain't
been
not,
playing PC. I've been playing games since Atari came out. I've been playing games since fucking Pong came out in the 1970s.
what
Like,
got you into video games? There's always an origin to that.
And let me speak on this too, because I think that's dope that you play these games and
Yeah.
but there is a contingent. I don't want to say the majority because they'll come from me, but let's just say there's a significant amount of women when they hear that a man plays video games, they automatically think that he's
you're
just beta loser mama's boy sleeping on his couch, even though they say
playing
that
in the
those
basement.
games, yeah,
Hmm.
they say that the games are designed from usually from like 10 to up to like 80. So there's military veterans that are like 50, 60 that are playing Call of Duty. There's
Those are gaming simulators too. Yeah.
yeah, there's retired NBA players that are playing this game. So I would say that if you're not on your business, if you're not handling your business, you got no business playing the games. But if the man is doing everything that he needs to do, and he comes home and wants to get some video game time in,
Mm-hmm. Better check
do
yourself.
do you think that? Sheree, do you think that's a bad thing? Do you think that the guy is
Oh
just being
no.
immature? What is your
Oh
outlook
no,
on
no,
that?
no, no. Let me rephrase. Mr. Hubby, because again, I've lived with this dude since almost 20 years now. Though I refuse to get married to him because he cannot afford my wedding. That is $5-10 million. But besides that, no, he's totally have had his gaming points of where I do not like. He'll go like 2 or 3 weeks. Like if there's a game he really likes, he can go 2 or 3 weeks, and I won't bother him. Other than like stupid things like, hello, can you help with the dishes? Hello, can you take out the trash? Hello, can you help with something? Other than that, I won't fucking bother him. Why? Because it's a new game and it's that important to him.
So she understands like a man's.
Damn, that's dope. Is he on PC too?
Yeah. Hello, PC Master Race.
Y'all really gaming. I gotta step my shit up.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Okay.
But again, we have our own. Here's the
Hmm.
number one. Hold on, I do have to say this. Being a mom, I totally pulled the mom thing. So little Fallout, that's my daughter. She goes, hey mom, I think I want to go to an arcade. And I'm like, why do you want to go to an arcade? I have a Sega Genesis here. I have a VR system. Like, I've got all of this. Why do you want to go to an arcade? All of a sudden, I felt like my mother. She was like, why do you want to go to the mall to play with an arcade?
Why you want to go to McDonald's? We got chicken nuggets here.
Exactly. Why do you want to go to an arcade? We have Nintendo right here. But at least I have a VR system and this and this and this, and she's still complaining about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Somebody else is a gamer too. Kawaii Breeze. She's also into video games one of the games that she plays like a lot is Overwatch, and she kind of got me. She almost kind of got me hooked back in Overwatch, except
Hold on, you play too? You
yeah,
game too, MT?
I game too, bro. Like honestly, I used to be sponsored right to play Super Smash Brothers. At the time,
Oh, so you was on Switch?
yeah, I was on Switch. I was on the
My
Wii U.
boy just entered, well, not just, but he entered a tournament for Super Smash. I didn't know it was that intense, bro. It was for like close to like 100,000 or something. It was like a really huge one. I didn't know how big and
Yeah,
intense Super Smash Bros was.
Yeah.
man, like it could be it could be like Disney characters or whatever, or Nintendo character. I mean, not Nintendo, but Nickelodeon characters. Like you do, like
Even
they'll
Pokemon characters.
exactly, bro. Like when it comes to like the competition, man, like it's fierce out there.
It's fierce.
Yeah, and one of my main characters that I mostly play is Kirby. So and he's like one of like the most like lowest.
Oh, shout out to Curb.
You know what I mean? Like Curb Lives Matter as well too, though, bro. You can't
Yes, sir.
So people hated me for like picking that character, especially when I was playing like Bayonetta. Before like she got heavily nerfed. But anyways, yeah,
Well,
man.
no, fuck that. No. Fuck that.
What?
Fuck that shit. Why? Because you decided to take advantage of a character who was not nerfed then? No, that to me is smart.
Oh well, of course, but people would try to like make you
Hey,
feel bad.
there is the video game
that was
politics, though, huh?
Yo, man, I could go on and on about games like this, man, because fighting games is like my life, man. Like Tekken.
Oh, Tekken. You don't know about Killer Instinct, though.
Oh, I know about
Orchard.
it's a
Orchard
combo
was
breaker,
my
right?
favorite character.
The dude
Orchard,
with
I was able to turn him into Paris. Oh, I
Who
always
did
loved
you
Orchard.
pick?
Orchard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. She was like she wore like a green, and she has. I like
Mhm.
Jago. I like Jago, and
what's that guy name with the that had like the arm like Shredder though? Like he had the little
yeah, Fulgor or something like that. That was
yeah.
his name. Yeah, he was savage. I'm not gonna lie. And
And,
there was
Mason, right?
Cinder. I
Oh,
liked
Cinder.
Cinder. I was saucy with Cinder. And
Man,
even the Mortal Kombat's though, the new Mortal Kombat's is savage, bro. They got the competition is fierce. They do put they have like they'll put like expansion characters where they add like Jason, Freddy, they had like RoboCop, Rambo, but
Mhm.
some people like if you guys I like Scorpion, and Sub-Zero, but people get
Ooh,
hella pissed,
that's
when you
my
can just
favorite.
freeze them and get over here, or
Yeah,
like
get over here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love my Mortal Kombat.
I know Mortal Kombat. Well, how you like the movies though? Cause some was cool, then they were underwhelming. It's like how y'all
Mm,
fuck up the Mortal Kombat movie?
It's always like I feel like these Mortal
I
Kombat
always
movies is
liked
always like
the
a
first
myth.
Mortal
Damn,
Kombat
M3, you
movie.
already look disappointed, bro.
Just saying, man.
Even the Street Fighter, remember they did Street Fighter dirty, bro, with that first. Did you see?
Oh,
Yeah,
bro,
way back in the 90s, I'm like, especially the way how
Oh,
Bison looked.
Yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme, like he was Guile, like come on, cuz like y'all couldn't have did better than that. Like I love Jean-Claude Van Damme growing up, but it's like I thought that Street Fighter, I thought it was okay at the time, but they definitely should have did way, way better for how iconic that game was. And Marvel versus Capcom, though, I know y'all know about that.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the first one was legit, bro. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it did go downhill with Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate.
Oh,
You know,
I never played that one. You said it started doing the slow decline from there.
man, let me put it like this. You know how when the stock market crashes, like the drop zone. When that game released, man, I was like, damn, I was crushed. I'm glad I didn't pay for it though, but looking at the reviews, I was crushed just by watching it. But yeah, you can't forget about the classic Street Fighter. There we go.
The classic.
Oh man.
Oh, look at Chun
Chun
Li too.
Li.
They could have had a better Chun Li. I mean, I guess they did what they did for the time. The only person they had, Vega looked cool. He was ripped, but then they had his character weak, and I was like, Vega, that character was savage on the game, but
Oh,
they kind
Exactly.
of
dude,
had him
Vega
weak in the
was
movie.
totally savage. No, I
They had
remember
him
Vega.
weak,
I used to
Saget.
play Vega whenever
Uh-huh.
I wanted to win because he had the most besides Blanco.
Oh damn.
Yeah, Blanca. Yeah,
Besides Blanco, he had the most reach. So you can literally catch them into a corner and just destroy the fuck out of them.
and with
Sorry, I
Blanca.
used to do that on my game.
And Blanca would like you can always when they're like punching and kicking you, you can just like start electrocuting them. He like grabs you out the air all the time. Like Blanca was probably like the hardest character to beat. Like also
Yeah,
Saget. Saget was harder than M Bison. Like when you play it on the hard level or somebody that's stiff competition, everything is like tiger, tiger, uppercut, tiger. I'm like, God damn, like I can't even get a punch off. But yeah, they had this dude, he was whack for Saget, but the real Saget on the game is quite savage. But I
Yeah.
guess they did.
the
Oh
key,
yeah, he come
the
on
key
the
to
E
getting away
Honda.
from Vigo, the key to getting away from Vigo was to climb up the um. Oh shit! What are they called?
The fence.
Shit. Yeah, the fences, the chain link fences.
Yeah,
You had to climb up the chain link fences in order to get away from Vigo.
but he could also climb up the fence and do like a jumping attack off of the fence, like with his
Yeah,
claws. And the real way to defeat him is to like beat his claws off. Like if you knock his claws off, his it takes his power off too. So you got to be super strategic. You know who else I used to hate? Who's actually now that I think about it, it's kind of hard to say who's the best because Blanca was savage. Like, if you
yeah.
really know how to beat him,
He,
but then this was I gonna say Zangief. If he gets you, literally like
you're up.
two or three smashes, and I'm like, damn, my
You're done.
power is gone. Yeah,
And
like your
again,
power would be
Blanco
gone.
was one of the ones that stuck you in the corner with his freaking hands. And if Chun Li got you into the corner too, and she was like totally doing her leg kicks, you would
Yeah.
be stuck as well.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think. And that's the beauty of the game. When you try to look at a player and say, this player is weak, you'll find a player that knows how to use that player way better. Like how it is on let's say Tekken,
Super Smash Bros.
what was that?
Super Smash Bros. Somebody
Mhm.
who also knew how to like punch their buttons wherever they
Yeah,
are.
some people think Kirby is whack, right? Some people's
No,
like, bro, why would you
it's
use
not.
Kirby? That's a whack character. You know what I
No,
mean?
he can
And
swallow you
no,
and
no,
then
I'm
spit
I'm
you
saying
out.
I'm saying some people they use their people have their own biases with their characters, right? Even with Scorpion, my friend he hates Scorpion. He uses Kano. He used Jax. He literally used everyone except for Scorpion and Sub Zero. Like for some reason he hates them, but
No,
um,
that's fine because usually most people do like you using like I always know like ever since I was like young and was in the video arcade machines and learning Sub Zero's moves on the joystick because you had to go forward and then back and then forward again in order to do the ice thing. Most of it is still true on the consoles. So if you play with a controller, you can totally do that whole entire deal and it still rings true. Scorpions was the exact opposite Sub-Zeros in order to do the whole entire get over here.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah,
And
he
those are
actually
the
could. He could do the
super
same
violent
thing,
and those
just
super
like in an
super
ice
violent.
format.
Risa says, "I will finish you with Sub-Zero."
Oh, shout
Hey,
out
hey,
to
I
Reese
got.
Neal.
Is
Sub
that?
Zero is a beast. Like, I don't know. Have you seen the new AM3? You should try to bring up. Just type in like how you brought up the thing. Just type
Mhm.
in like a MK fatality compilation. Just type in something like that,
Oh my
bro.
god.
You'll see it
Fatality.
will be savage, bro. But in with Sub Zero, he could send like a clone ice Sub Zero at you. He could ice the ground so you start slipping. He could
Uh-huh.
rain he
Take it
could
over.
rain down like
No.
icicles on you. Like Sub Zero is pretty bad, bro. He could blow you. He could blow you with the frozen breath and freeze you. You know what I mean? Then he has
He
a
was
then he has
frozen
a
before
sword.
Frozen came around.
What was that?
He was frozen before Frozen came around.
Exactly.
No, and here's the one thing I also have to take on to consideration. Like, I've seen Mortal Kombat like evolve, but at the same point in time, they're not as ruthless. Like again, my parents never understood what the blood code was. I had the blood code, and
Yeah.
like,
Okay. Yeah. Now you
mhm.
talking some stuff that people could not even fathom. You know, knocking people off into the pit as well. You know.
Yeah, yeah. You just uppercut them and they
Yeah,
just
onto
fall
the
into the
spikes,
fucking pit. And you're
or
like,
or or they
it's
could go into the vat
not
of acid too.
yeah. But now they want to pull out the acid. They want to pull out the spike pit. They want to pull out the burning pit. Like they just want to pull it out because it's too violent. No, fuck you. I'm sorry to swear. I'm
I'm
so
trying to
sorry
see
to swear
if
there.
M3 could find it.
I
I
didn't
thought they
grow
was
up
pretty.
bad, and I didn't grow up on violence of
Pretty good.
fucking video games. I'm so sorry. I swear again.
No, I think they are still pretty violent. I mean, I think they could push the envelope a bit more, but I mean,
Okay.
I think they are definitely on par with where they need to be.
Intellectual Soapbox. So let me. So hold on. Let me introduce Mr. Intellectual Soapbox. This is Sheree. Okay. Well, that's how. Sheree is it's a gamer. She plays like pretty much like mostly PC games and all that. So, this is like kind of after hours. So we're just having our gaming talk. Hey, Sheree, quick question. Are you able to just cam up for a few minutes?
Hello.
So, wait. Bring the camera down just a little bit. There you go. So that's Sheree, and he says, "Hey, Sheree."
Oh, damn, I can't keep my phone up.
No, you good. You good. Yeah. So that's Sheree, everybody, right? She is a PC gamer, but that doesn't mean she won't give you the smoke and probably like in other consoles as well too, though. So, she knows about Super Smash Bros. She knows about Street Fighter era. I
The
think
only
you're
console I
you're an
don't
early
own is
'80s kid,
Nintendo
right?
Wii.
Say again.
I don't own a Nintendo Wii.
Oh no, I didn't say you own one, but I'm saying like
That's
that
the only
doesn't.
console I don't own.
Oh, you don't. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying, but you have a
Don't sleep on the Wii.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. The Wii, I was looking at it like, oh, this system is that, but if you want to do the Wii Fit, that one is actually pretty good. If you follow the fitness one, but even they have a lot of fun, like kind of party games. You know, if you want to have people over, you got a lot of people over. I think it's a good console for that too. And also, I think when people have kids, just in my belief, you need to be starting your kids out on If you don't get a Sega Genesis, they have emulators, which is basically a digital you know, how you have a Roku, right? They have things like that with all of the games, like all of the Sega games, like 150 games on one little drive,
Hey,
and you
but
can.
you gotta keep in mind though, like the anti-gamers gonna be like, well, see, this is why these kids are so violent. This is why these kids so messed up and uneducated because you got them too hooked on video games and all.
Well, they could say that, and they can make an argument for that, but that's why you're supposed to be regulating that. Like, if a kid, in order for a kid to play a video game that much, they need a device, right? They need a cell phone. The kid doesn't have money to buy their own cell phone, and most of the games on cell phone, you won't be like overly addicted to where
Really?
you like can't function in life, you know what I mean? So then you brings it to your house. Okay, cool. If your kid is gaming at the house, you need to regulate that. As long as they're doing what they need to do in class, then let the kid game. If they're not, then confiscate. You know what I mean? Take the phones, take this. Hey, they want to go over to their friend's house and game. Cool, you can do that after you I see that your work is done. Other than that, like, this gaming stuff is a privilege. Problem solved. Once you show that the kids, you show that they need to have standards, morals, principles in life, not just in the gaming virtual world, that will help you out, bro. There's plenty of
Um,
kids that come from the suburbs that play Grand Theft Auto that never would commit Grand Theft Auto.
and I completely and utterly agree with that. You have no idea how much I agree with that. Because there is no in any type of world, just because you do it in a video game does not necessarily mean that you're going to do it in real life. That's the reason of video games, is to let you do whatever you want to do without having to do in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's really just a cop out, and
And
what
again,
people
my
do.
parents, my parents never knew. My parents never knew I turned on the blood cheat code from freaking Sega Genesis, like, magazine that I got that put it in the back world, dude.
Your
They
parents would
never
have
knew.
told you not to, and you would have done it anyways.
I would have
Just
done it
and
anyways.
just like my parents was telling me, man, you better not be listening to that music with all that cussing in it. And what type of music do you think I was listening to?
And again, here's the way my parents put it down to me. I don't care if, as long as you're within a song and you know what you're doing ish within a song. I don't care if you repeating a song and it may have a cuss word like bitch, shit, ass, occasionally maybe motherfucker,
Right,
depending upon the song and depending upon the context of that song.
Sheree, real quick, I just sent
Mm-hmm.
you a message like on a private chat if you know how to access that in the
Oh,
StreamYard.
dude, if I hit any, I don't know,
Oh,
maybe.
wait, well, okay,
If
okay.
I
So,
hit any, I'm on my phone, so if I hit buttons, I may go away. So that's
wait,
why I don't hit buttons on my phone.
okay, well, real quick, right? Because, like, in the future, right, I would like to, like, invite you. Like, this is like a good conversation, but I feel like this will also even be better, right? If we have like a gaming talk, at least like a show that
A
we,
panel, a
yeah,
stream dedicated
yeah,
to game and talk. This
exactly.
was just like sporadic. This had nothing to do with it. This was
Stop,
just
yeah,
after hours. But
hours,
it
yeah.
would be dope to dedicate a stream to all facets of the gaming,
Mhm.
because I don't play Super Smash Bros, but I would love to know about the tournaments. And then we talk about the MK and talk about the future of gaming, PS5. Did you like PS3,
Fallout.
the Xbox,
Yeah.
I would be so excited for Fallout 5, even though I'm totally scared about what Todd Howard's gonna do.
Let me see. So
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
I
totally
played
talk
like
about
the
Fallout stuff,
original
or we can totally
Fallout.
talk about gaming stuff.
matter of fact, let me show you
Hold
guys
on,
quick.
hold on. Did you play the Fallout New Vegas?
Oh, you have no idea how much I fell in love.
That's the last and only one I played. I was a beast on that game.
Now you know it. But where I actually got introduced to Fallout was through Fallout 4. Apparently, Mr.
So is
Hubby
that
played it.
before or after?
No. Mr. Hubby played it for a little bit in front of Little Fallout. And Little Fallout comes to me when I started to play and goes, huh, Mommy, you're going to be so mad. I
Hey
said,
guys, real quick.
Little Fallout, why am I going
Hold
to be
on, what?
mad?
Hold on, what is this?
So
Man,
mad. I saw
man,
those bombs drop, and I went, oh, I need to go find Sean.
yeah, I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you back to memory lane, man. This was like young M3. I think this was like 2018 or I think this was 2018 or 17. Anyways, this was like before like the full release
Pre-COVID.
of Super Smash Bros. Well, yeah, that too. Before Smash Bros. Came out.
And they
So
probably haven't done one since then, to be honest, cuz.
nah. So your boy, man, like was like, like I said, man, I gotta show the receipts. I can't just tell you, what I used to do without showing you this. So, anyways, fair use to my old classic video. But I was definitely beating that ass though. You feel me?
Hold on, M3. I'm trying to see, cuz you look nervous. Let me see what it's looking like.
Oh, okay.
Will Kirby do it? Who are you fighting? Oh, you Metal Gear Snake?
I'm fighting against Metal Gear Snake. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, see, like my friend Ratty Star, he's so good at this
Damn,
game.
I didn't know this shit was this sad like this. I didn't know they had all these characters, bro.
Yeah, man, they
I
got
used
like
to
over
watch
like 60
Ratty Star
characters in the
play
game.
this, and he had all those
Bro, I
characters.
love Metal.
I'm like,
These are
no,
two
I can get
characters I
Ratty.
love. I
Mhm.
loved Kirby on Nintendo, and Metal Gear Solid was probably like my favorite game on the original PlayStation. What? M3 ain't looking nervous no more. He look he look like he down to business.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You got your game face on now.
Hey, once I'm in the zone, man, I can't be playing around like that. This was my
Is
this
is
was my
this the
life.
only system that you played Smash Bros on? Or were you playing it back on, what was it, Super Nintendo or N64 or whatever?
Oh, I started off with Nintendo 64. I played all like the Smash games: Nintendo 64, GameCube, Nintendo
Oh,
Wii,
don't hold
Wii
on,
U.
cuz don't take it back. Don't take it back like that with the GameCube.
Man, you already know, man. Back then with what's it called, Super Mario Sunshine and all that stuff. Man, that's when life was good.
Yeah, you're right about that. You took me back with the GameCube. People used to hate on the GameCube,
30
but
seconds, boys. Come on, 30 seconds.
you could get it for cheap, and the graphics was the same. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Run, Kirby, run, Kirby. No, I got to make this one back in 10 seconds.
And I think this was a certain death. Oh no, I won this one. So the first round. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3.
Come on, Raider. There you go, Chief.
But yeah, man, like like shit was.
Damn, you damn near finna get me on that. I'm gonna have to might have to dabble in that Super Smash and come see you about some M3.
Man, nah, you don't want it, man.
Oh
You don't
damn,
want
my, my brother, my
look,
brother, like you don't want that level of smoke. Oh, okay. You talking real spicy right now, M3.
hey, because I know what I'm talking about, man. You feel me?
You know what you capable of, huh?
Man, look, like I said, man, I was at like a whole different level back then, right? Matter of fact, hold on. Let me go to damn, I can't play. Let me see. Hold on. Let me mute this real quick.
You might be rusty though, cuz I'm gonna get you while you vulnerable.
Hey, man, even when I'm retired, man, like, nobody can beat me in that type of game, man. Maybe the hardcore, Super Smash gamers though, but even still, I just come back, do my little cheese or whatever, and piss people off. You know? That's what I do best anyway. Hold on, let me go ahead and add that real quick. Yeah, man. So shit, I was doing like shit like this though. Let me see.
Oh, dude, you should totally play against Ratty Star.
Man,
Sheree, you play Smash Bros too?
No, I don't. But a friend of mine does, and he's really that type of good type of deal. His I don't know if you can find nicknames on this game, but it should be Ratty Star.
I named something familiar too. Ratty
Yeah,
Star.
Ratty Star is really good.
Wait, he's African American, right? I think.
No,
Okay, then that's
no,
not the one.
nope.
But yeah, man, that was my life, like back then, man. Like with gaming, just learning certain tactics, man, and just like cheesing people out, bro. You know.
Man, this game looked dope, bro. I never got into it. Honestly, the I always was like Madden, NBA Live, 2K, it was NBA Live was the main one before it took over. But the first game that I really start like gaming online was Call of Duty Black Ops, bro. My cousin got me on that stuff, and it was like a whole new world for me. I used to just have the even if when I had the capabilities, like when I had internet and I could have hooked it up, I never really knew about all that stuff. So I would just be like, M3, come over, and you want to see me in Smash Bros? Come over to the house. I didn't really know about hooking all this internet stuff up, right? So I'll just invite people over. So
Yeah.
You did
so
not know about LAN parties.
I because
Those were
I
LAN parties.
definitely did not know about LAN parties.
Hook their shit up. That's called a LAN party.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. I didn't know any. I didn't. Well, this is the thing. Even when I didn't always have, there were times where you didn't really have the internet, right? Then when I did have the internet, I didn't really know about it, so I would just like always have people come over at the house. But that was the first game that I actually like start playing people on there, and I was getting smashed, bro. I was like, man, this shit is whack, bro. And then I was like, you know what? I ain't going out like that. I just start getting focused, bro, and I was just playing like literally like every day, bro. And then I start smashing on cats, bro. I had my cousins, we were all mic'd up. We would be playing in parties, bro. We would be going. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like,
Party.
huh?
You were all land up. You were all connected. That is
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah,
a party.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have your own party, like
Yeah.
imagine M3, where it's like where I like M3, Sheree, B-Eazy. We invite some people, and then we're all on Call of Duty, and then we're all smashing together, talking like, "Oh, M3, watch out, I got your back." I had never experienced that, so I had got addicted, bro. And then back in the heydays, it was fun, it really was fun, especially
Yeah,
I
I bet.
loved Black Ops because they had cameras. I mean, I'm sure they got all advanced stuff now with the new ones. I just haven't had times to play all the stuff, but
That's true.
I
Yeah.
I do definitely want to get back into it because M3, I know even you playing that video, you had a nostalgic moment wishing that you can kind of get, you know what I mean? The shit is fun, bro. So when people think like, oh, you just some loser playing games, like, no, my bills is paid. So if I want to get some hours in on 2K or
I want to feel like a loser playing games. I'm allowed to feel like a loser playing
Hey,
games.
exactly. Yeah. I damn near might make a shirt.
But see, the thing is, you don't even have to be a loser to still be like good at video games, right? I mean,
But
like,
sometimes you want to feel like a loser when you're playing video games.
yeah, you want people to perceive you as a loser, right? So
There-
then they could
there
feel
you
like
go.
a bigger loser, like when you beat the ass in that video games. It'd be like, now what, bitch, right? Mic drop. But yeah, man, my LAN days, man, was definitely like when we played Halo, bro. It was like, I think it was like 8-on-8.
I could
That
never
was
get
my first.
into Halo like that, but I know that was huge.
It was, dude, like it was 2 TVs. Okay, one in the living room, the other one in someone else's bedroom. You had to plug in this long ass like LAN cord so we could all stay connected. And we just shoot up, look at other people's screens like, Cheeto, I see you, you sniping. And let me move out the way. Bam, bam, right? Like, dude, like it was. Man,
Did you
like,
ever play Gears of War?
But no. Here's
What?
the whole deal where I get what he's talking about. He's like, you totally get the whole entire idea where like you have 2 separate people in 2 different rooms and you're on the same deal and you're still kicking ass or even failing.
No, like we was all like equally getting served on and serving each other, you know? Like those were like the Halo days, like, you know, even if you didn't really like the people that you was around with at the time, you liked them for that moment. Oh, you got Halo, man. Oh, you got the Xbox. Oh, you got the PlayStation 3. You know, you got the Street Fighter going on. Hey, man, come on, let's
Facts.
talk truth, man. You know,
And see, and that's what I was saying. Like, see, you was doing it even harder, where you was already hooking up land. People used to just come to your house. Like it wasn't about playing no one online, because even
No,
people
when
that
people used
no,
to
that's
come
what.
to your house and hook up their own
Yeah,
computers
that's
to
what I was talking
your
about. BZ. Yeah.
fucking landline
Mhm.
because that was the only place that you had an internet. Those are called landlines.
Like that was like that was my literally first experience, right, of land, right? Not land on the internet now these days, be easy, but I'm talking about land where it's like you're
You
like
actually
you're in the
literally have
same household, you're
their,
just a room apart.
their
Okay.
house, hook it up to their internet with the Ethernet cord.
Mm-hmm. All you needed was just
That
2
was
TVs,
landline.
eight dudes, right, playing the game, and you already have a party going on. You got the pizza, you got the chips, you got everything that's going on. You know, metabolism was still good, so it's like, man, like that
Bro,
was
you taking it back, bro. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like we was playing for money with these tournaments too. Like, and you're right. Like, we
Mhm.
would have, it would be in a separate room. Like, well, let's say we would play Madden, right?
Mhm.
You gotta
Oh man.
like this is like the money room, right? You gotta win to even get to this room, and then you can drop down. So I know it was the same thing with Halo. I
Mhm.
didn't play Halo like that, but I remember how huge it was. People were having parties, simply just like a Halo party. We would have parties for Madden, but it was intense. I don't know if y'all ever bet money on Halo game, but in
Oh,
Madden, like
hell
sometimes people would get fighting in certain, not always, but in some rare instances, some people did kind of get deleted over that because you feel me. If M3, me and you play Madden, and you say you got 300 on the game, and we shake as men, and then I look and you lose, and you don't want to give me my 300. It's like, people like, oh, it's just a video game, or that wasn't a real bet. Like, bro, we really shook. Like, I don't.
no, that's what my
Yeah.
whole deal is like never put real money on a fucking video game.
Well, what's the thing? If you
Unless
put
you're
real
willing to
money,
lose it, like you are in Vegas. If you're willing to lose it, go ahead, put it on there.
well, see, that's why we have tournament organizers, right? Because you're gonna put your money down. Those are ones that are gonna be holding your money.
Should
No,
we discuss Fortnite?
Bingo.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
So
you gotta
you
do it
pay
that
what
way.
you owe, you know, because I'm gonna be here to collect. I don't care about no friendship. You put money down on the table, you better be a man of your word, bro. You know.
You wouldn't let that slide? It's just a video game, M3.
Which,
Man, hell no,
but
man.
like it,
Even if it was Smash, I would not let that shit slide. You owe me money, you owe me money, bro.
So hold on. So hold
it
on. If
it's
we
not
play Smash
like supposedly.
and we bet 200 and I try to run off on you, you
Oh,
gonna be sending that Cash App request?
all doors are gonna be locked, bro. We be like, hey, yo, I'm gonna have my lawyer. I'm gonna have my tournament organizer. I'm like, oh, okay, 200. Okay, bet you gotta put the 200 in the pot, man. Give it to him before we play. You know, you gotta be
Yeah.
proactive, not reactive. You know, that's how
Nah,
you
but
do deletion stuff.
Nah, but like Sheree is saying, I mean, you really ain't supposed to lose.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to gamble with an amount that you're okay with losing, right? Like now, I don't expect
I,
to lose. Now, let's say 200. Like if I lose 200, I'm gonna be hot at M3. But if I lose 20, I'm gonna be like, all right, here you go, take this 20, go get you some lunch. You know what I mean? But 200, I'm gonna start thinking about every bill. I'm like, I could have paid my cell phone. I could have did this. You know what I mean? So if
yeah.
you are gonna
Like
gamble on the game, I would
gamble
do like 10 to 20 bucks.
You
willing to
know,
lose.
but you know, to now in all seriousness though, I wouldn't even like really bet money like when it comes like to friends or whatever. I'll just bet money on like people I don't really like. You know what I mean? Or just try to prove a point. But
Nah, I bet money with friends, bro. Like,
Mhm.
because like I said, it's 10 or 20 bucks, but like
I
only
was
so
like 5%. Yeah.
well, either way, I
Mhm.
think five is cool too, because look, we just it makes it a bit more intensified, and then at the end of the day, you give them a chance to win it back, right? And
Mhm.
then
And at
look,
the end of the day, you also have to understand you may lose it. And it
correct.
should be okay in your world. Again, don't give up money unless you're willing to lose it.
And it doesn't have to be money too. The bet is just already it's just like
Yeah.
up in the ante on the video game. The video game is already fun and you just ump the ante. But what you do, if you don't want to use money, you can use chores, right? Like,
Mhm.
hey bro, if I win, then you got to go clean, you got to wash my car for me. You know what I mean? And then if you win, then you got to, you can do that. You could do push-ups. Hey, look, if you win, then you got to
Oh,
do
what's your
25.
yo? That was
But
like the
No,
funnest
I get,
ones though.
I totally get where you're coming from. That
Uh,
makes
uh,
sense.
Yeah. Hey guys, real quick though. Man, this conversation was fire. It extended to like 3 hours, but I gotta get ready for work.
oh
Hey,
damn, kicking us out. We just turned up. We just turned on the video game. Like you the type to kick cats out where we just turned on the Smash Bros. And you like last game, last game. Like damn, M3. That's how you gonna do us?
hey, man, we've been talking about video games for a good hour now, so you know what I mean. But we gotta save that for the next content, right? You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. That's the perfect segue. That's that.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good. You kicking us out. Hey, I'm taking my controller. I'm taking my controller.
I'm plugging right now, man. I'm salty. I'm rage quitting, right? You know, and I'm really
Yeah.
gonna do that well though. Okay, so I'm gonna be out of here. You know, you'll see me in 3 weeks. Okay, when I get a hyperbolic time chamber. But
Hey,
uh,
when you come back, I'm gonna have somebody for Kirby.
he gonna get his ass whooped too, though, bro. You can tell him that. And that's on curve.
Damn. Okay. M3 on his M3 super smashing. Okay. He's super smashing with spice. Okay, I got you, M3. We
Hey,
we
you
gonna
know
have
what?
to set that up.
Hey, you know what? If you want me to make it even for you guys, man, look, I won't even practice. My practice will be the day on when we play, man. So, you know, we could make it good or even. Um,
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go so I could go practice smashing so I could one day smash M3. You feel me? But Sheree, thanks for coming up
Want
and
to be smashing.
yeah. Wait,
All right.
wait, hold on, Sheree. Before you go, right?
Hey, Levy.
What I was going to ask you was, do you have like a IG account or do you have like a Instagram?
No,
WhatsApp,
no.
Discord, any of that?
I am on Discord.
Okay.
Don't know
What,
how to get to yours from mine, though.
wait, what'd you say?
I don't know how to get from my Discord to yours. Like I have my own Discord, but it's only for my own like few friends. Shit. But I am like.
What about email?
And email.
Which one would I like to give to you? Let me think. Go with late. No.
You can put it in the private chat. That's what he was asking you. You don't have to say it out loud.
Neither.
And God forbid if you try to say your number out loud on here.
Just show up whenever the fuck you do this again, ish.
Oh, okay. The last time when I saw you, this was like 8 months ago. So,
oh my God, you remember me from that long ago? How is it that I'm so memorable? I don't like that.
Hey, I remember some like the smallest things though. But yeah, like I said, I remember you. But all right, very well then. I'll tell you this. You know what?
But no, Laps. I do have to tell you the reason I don't usually come in because you have an awful lot going on sometimes within your chats, and I'm like, I just don't need to be there.
Oh, okay. You talking about like too many people in the chat or too many people?
Both, but it does not mean that I have not watched your shit.
Oh, okay. Well,
again, obviously I watched your shit because I'm still attached to you. I'm still like within a certain core deal, and at the same point in time, I don't always think that I should say something when it's like you're over here having this, and there's so many people talking, and they talk over each other, and I'm like, I don't need to talk anywhere.
No, I feel you though. A lot of things is like, we've been trying to get things under control, and actually it's a lot better than how it was like in the beginning. Because now we have timers, everybody takes a turn to speak, and if people be rude, we just kick their asses out. Point blank period. I'll tell you this though. Since you be watching our streams like, a lot, behind the scenes, just know that Mondays and Thursdays, okay? I don't know what's your time zone. My time right now here is 10:51. Okay?
Oh, so, you're on Pacific time zone.
Yeah, Pacific time. So
I'm on Mountain. I'm only an hour ahead of you.
Okay, cool. So basically, right, on Mondays and Tuesdays, when we have like our Narcissistic Relationship shows, at 7:30 is when we go live. Okay?
Yeah, I know, and there's a lot of chicks talking on there, and they have a lot of opinions, and I don't necessarily agree with all of their opinions.
Hey, I don't agree with a lot of people's opinions too, but it is what it is though. We have a lot of opinionated people. But the point is, what I was trying to say is that, like, if I do a live stream about, like, like gaming talk, right? Just look for that. As long as you hit the notification bell, you know what we're talking about. The moment we're talking about games, feel free to hop in.
Okay.
All right, then.
Anyway, I will. Thank you so much. That was very nice.
No problem. Thank you for coming up. It was good to see you again too.
Thank you for being nice.
Oh well,
because I couldn't even feel this comfortable without you feeling like this comfortable type of deal, and that's always nice.
Well, I always want to make people feel welcome. Like I said, like you're more memorable because. Remember the first time we tried to come up, we was already, having like a long-winded conversations, and we was already trying to wrap things up anyways. So by the time when you did came, or you try to come up there, it was already too late. We was already wrapping things up. So you just caught us like at a time where, we got all like the relationship topics out the way, and now we're just moving on to like having something that's more fun, video
Um,
games.
the other thing I do want to mention to you is that I do notice sometimes you put into your community posts those posts, or when you do like polls type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I try to answer those too.
Okay,
Because those
okay.
are not bad polls to take. Like, what do you think about this? And then you give like 3 or 5 answers, and then
Yeah.
like community posts are totally, or community polls
Mm-hmm.
are gonna do something to better help your YouTube channel.
Gotta learn how to do the polls. Okay. All right, I'll keep that in mind. But I'm glad that the community post is helping out because sometimes I'll be like, is it really going through? But now I know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm only connected to you through some small part, but at the
Mhm.
same point in time, your community posts have always come through. Like, your stuff always comes through in the morning. When I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, they're still awake.
Oh
Sometimes, right?
yeah, and then sometimes I'll be posting my shorts as well.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting most of it is from your shorts right now. But again, I still connected to you because I thought you were a wonderful person. I thought you had really good questions. I thought you had really good, honest answers.
Yeah, I try, but thank you. I appreciate it.
So and again, you want to come after me for honest answers? I will come. I will come back after you with honest answers.
All right,
Like I
definitely for
have
sure.
nothing to hide.
All right, cool, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully, like we could get like feel free to cam up like next time when you join in, especially for the video game talk, so we could get like just reactions on us. But yeah, anyways, man, thank you, Sheree, man, for tuning in, and this was definitely a fun conversation. What a good way to end it.
Thank you, friends.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
All right, later. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. Let me go ahead and cue this music down, turn it off. So this was definitely fun. Okay. Man, we went all over the place, man. We went from uh we went from like asking questions about like, what it means like for guys. Oh, great stream. Thank you so much, Rissa. Thank you. Shout outs to you. Okay, Marion, I see you still up. Shout outs to you as well too. Shout outs to B-Eazy for tuning in. Shout outs to Texas 25. Definitely appreciate you for tuning in. Actually, big shout outs to Texas 25 because, Texas 25, when he came up, it definitely helped, like the conversation to keep going. So that way, like it doesn't, get dry because who wants to watch me talk, to you guys like by myself, all day. But anyways, he had some good thought provoking questions, some statements as well too. So definitely big shout outs to you again, my brother, for tuning in from the Twitch side to the YouTube side as well. So thank you everybody for your support for Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. We are very, 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 very close. Okay, please again help us to reach the ultimate goal of over 1,000 subscribers. We're very close and we need your help on this one. So please share the replays. What else? Even if you comment after the show. So, like, when you comment after the show and you give your feedback, what happens is it triggers the algorithm and then it boosts the algorithm up and then it sends out to people who probably have not watched our channel before, but watch channels that are similar to this, and then it brings them over here. So anytime you guys make a comment after when the live stream is over, like on a replay, you're helping us out big time as well too. Either way, you guys are liking the streams, so that definitely helps as well. So thank you very much. Now I'm about to get ready for bed, and I'm about to cue this out. So let me go ahead and I'm going to find the outro. So stay tuned for many more. And what else? You're a new sub, Rissa. Are you sure? Because I really feel like I've seen you like before. I thought you came to our panels, like, well, not the panels, but to the chat a few times. But I believe you. You said I'm a new sub and happy. I did. Cool over here. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated, Rissa. Like I said, please give a comment after the live stream. Everything helps out. We're so close. And you definitely have a good night too, sis. All right, much love. All right, see you later, everybody. Peace.
Knowledge and relationships